Hello, welcome to Creative Crits. Thank you so much for tuning into our game tonight. Tonight is Kal'add Episode 6. Thank you so much for your patience with our technical difficulties. I know we're starting 10 minutes late, but I wanted to give a big shout out to our tech crew. For the last hour and a half, they have been busting their butts to try to figure out how to just get us on. So please be patient with us. We are entirely remote this episode due to some COVID concerns, as I'm sure that everyone at home is aware of the COVID spike going on. Some quick upcoming games. January 16th is the next yet another adventuring party, and January 23rd will be Kal'add Episode 7. We do have a lighting setup that will at various times possibly flash. I wanted to warn you about that just in case that if you're sensitive to it, be aware that might be happening. It will only be happening on my image though, and not anybody else's. One more big announcement. We have a really cool Discord community, and we have added a new feature to our Discord community. For this game specifically, there is a channel under our Discord named Ship's Crew. In that Ship's Crew channel, several different people are joining us as the crew of the ship that we assume our players are going to get in this episode. We'll see. But our players have hired on some new crew, and those crew are real people that are on our Discord. Hopefully, as time goes on, we'll involve them more and more into our games so that we can have a little bit of that interactivity through our Discord channel. And I do have some games planned with another DM specifically just for those players that are part of our Discord that happen simultaneously off screen from this game, and the choices that they make will affect what happens in our game. I think that wraps up my announcements. I'm going to have everybody that's here just introduce themselves real fast, and then we'll have Bree give us a rundown of what happened last episode.
Alrighty, I'll go first if nobody else wants to. Hi, I am Lauren. I go by Kel Cosplay on all of these socials. You can find me on Twitch and Instagram, and I will be playing the sweet cleric Riesling. Yes, like the wine.
All right. My name is Dominic Ireland, and I play Solarum, the Leonin monk. You can find me on Twitter, TikTok, basically anywhere as Rowan the Storyteller. And I'll go ahead and put it in the Discord and stuff too. Yeah.
Hold on. What did you say, Tech Crew? I couldn't catch what you guys said. Can you say that again? Okay. Well, it looks like Bree's audio is not working at the moment. But for a second, I'm EonIan, and I go just by Ian, but you can find me online by EonIan. And Harley will be here shortly. She is caught up in some other stuff. But yeah. To give
I will say...
rundown,
oh, you want to go ahead? I was going to say she described herself, for those of you who could not hear her, as a himbo, and I was wondering, is the female version of that a shimbo? Is there a female version of that?
Oh man, let's not even get into the.
I thought himbo was the male version of bimbo.
Yeah, no.
Oh
no,
yeah, we can't call her a. Let's go into the recap.
I don't know. Lauren, do you mind giving us a recap of the beginning of the game, and then I will proceed to try to give a recap of what happens afterwards?
The beginning of the game since when I joined, or
yeah, since you joined.
Okay, absolutely. So Riesling, what's been revealed so far, was basically sold into indentured servitude on this Kenku ship that delivered her to where the party is now currently in the, what's the area called on the map? What's this harbor? It's something
Stormbreak
harbor.
Harbor.
Oh, Stormbreak Harbor.
That one, Stormbreak Harbor. That's where we all are. We're in Stormbreak Harbor. I was taken. Harley's character was taken. We saw this really wackadoo starfish creature thing. Did some weird things in our brain. Not a fan of that. I used to have a really cool self-imposed tattoo on my face of my faith. It replaced it with this awful starfish-looking thing. It took over one of Harley's eyes, so that it's doing a bunch of weird stuff with that. Mine's giving me some weird powers. Every now and then the eyeball like moves around. Not a fan of that. But we got out, met up with the rest of the party, and we are now in search of a ship. We liberated my beautiful armor from the ship that took me, quite chaotically. And now we are possibly looking to get some revenge on some people who have been stalking other party members. I made that up all off the top of my head, so I hope that's right.
I think that was all right. Bree, do we have you back yet?
I hope so.
Is that a?
Am I here?
Is she here?
Am I talking? Am I here?
Is that a yes? Okay, cool.
All right.
So now that
He's
we have
working.
everyone back, the only other thing that there's a couple things that that happened. Bree, do you want to talk about what happened as the party hunted down a particular individual after burning down the ship?
Oh, that was big. I can't believe I forgot that. Yeah, you do that, Bree.
Okay. Talking about our plan
Yeah.
to get the ship.
Our girls' night out. Remember that?
After you guys burned down the Kinku ship, and
Yeah.
after that.
Yeah. So our girls' night out, we decided to get some more information on whatever weird thing Kaori and Riesling's captors did to them by following some Genku sort of like breadcrumb trails, I guess. And that led us to a room in like an inn or a tavern inn room, and we went up to talk to. Was he a general?
He was just the captain of that ship.
Yeah, captain. So the captain of the ship got our butts handed to us.
Real bad.
But not without getting some information about the starlight fruit.
You guys got a whole treasure chest of Stardrop fruit.
Star drop fruit, that's what it is.
Mhm.
Bella has like negative int, so that's why I don't remember anything. So we got the star drop fruit. We made some connections with Magistrate Lawrence, I think is his name.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we got some information. So it wasn't a total loss. Just really embarrassing. Yeah, so that's what happened there. And then I think we're getting ready to steal a ship the next day, and that's kind of where we left off.
From Fish Guy.
From Fish Guy.
There was one more exciting part that operator that's not here.
Oh yeah.
Would you like to tell us what he, along with your assistance, succeeded in doing?
Was it bringing the ship up?
Yeah.
Were we talking about his sausages?
At the very end,
His
and
well-done use of sausages.
he inflated his giant sausages to bring up a
Yes.
ship.
So we rescued to get more money to hire a crew and get what we needed to set sail. We retrieved a ship from the bottom of Stormbreak Harbor by attaching inflatable sausages. Gets special inflatable sausages to the ship. They're really just like flotation devices that suddenly fill with air, thus, bringing up the ship to the surface. We got paid a crap ton of gold. And yeah, so that was the first real like big invention that had been on screen for Git, other than all of like his spells and stuff. So that was exciting.
Indeed.
Had some fun little vague misunderstandings as to the intended use of the sausages.
Oh,
since
yes.
Nobody chose
Yes,
Poor
to.
there
Riesling.
was.
Nobody explained to Riesling what the sausages were. Just that you were all getting ready to use the sausages.
There was a bit of who's on first going on with the
Exactly.
sausages.
That was great.
They
Well,
just kept saying they were going to get wet, and it didn't make anything any better. No better whatsoever.
well, after you guys brought the ship up to the surface, Git has proceeded to inform you that he will go ahead and get capture whatever ship that you need to capture, and he will catch up with you. But he has some dealings that he needs to take care of, and he takes his plans with the sausage about his inflated sausages, his inflatable sausage plans, to go and turn them into lib. The rest of you, I go back to the orphanage and are ready to plan how you intend on getting this ship. There's one other thing that happened. Solarum had sent a letter. Do you want to tell us about that?
Yes, essentially it's just detailing the information regarding getting the cargo that I had promised from a individual named Tucker, who is the owner of the Gallant Prince Gallant Prince like
Clothing store.
clothing store. Yes, sorry. Letting him know that we had a slight misunderstanding, and due to an oversight, our ship was beached south of Stormbreak, to the south of the vineyards. So we wouldn't actually be picking up his cargo in the port. That we were picking his cargo up like a couple miles south, just so that we're not caught up in the hullabaloo of stealing a ship and then having to load cargo onto a stolen ship in the same harbor we're stealing it from. So there's that.
Oh, and didn't we find out about a life stone or something
Oh,
along
yeah.
those
Yes.
lines? Because that was pretty important. It's all coming back to me. I left my notes across the room, so I'll just do without them for now. That's why I always play low int characters, because I'm in real life low int.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
But so tell us about the life stone.
Yes. That was actually part of Solarum's story at this point. I think Kiori had a vision of it as well when she drank that concoction that the Kenku gave her on your girls' night out. But yes, there's a life stone that was going to be traded for 10 star drop fruit, and it is very powerful. And now 2 different members of our party, including myself, are after it, which is going to be an interesting scenario once we finally get to it.
We'll make it through. I have faith in us.
Yeah.
Just gotta soften
But-
Kaori's edges. I'm working on her.
There you go. But yes, we're meeting up and gonna try and jack a ship so that we can get to Ianzaru. That was our next goal there.
We're jacking a
Yep.
ship.
So,
Jack a ship.
you as a party have returned back to the orphanage. You know that you have a crew ready for the next morning, and what plans would you like to lay? How do you intend on stealing this ship? To give you a little bit more information, this ship is a ketch. It's called the Silver Soul. It is now the only ship that's floating in the harbor. So if you do get it, there's not very many ships to chase after you. Do you have any plans of how you'd like to get this ship?
So we gotta talk about this, because you mentioned this is the only ship in the harbor, right? So if we go trying to take this ship, it would be noticeable?
Well, it's one of the only. Sorry, Bella. Well, it's it's one of the only ones in the harbor right now. But we were on the Kenku ship yesterday, weren't we? Or did we make it unsaleable?
You guys burn it down.
Oh,
Okay.
In typical party
Oopsie.
fashion, you destroyed the ship.
So I guess what I'm getting at is just picture this, paint this with your mind. Single
Okay.
ship, open harbor,
Mm.
nothing else to look at.
The wind at my hair and the
Yes,
fresh sea breeze splashing into my
beautifully
face.
blowing, beautifully. Should we maybe consider some sort of distraction so that not everybody has nothing else to look at but the single ship in the harbor?
Possibly, but I mean, what are they gonna do? Fire at the only working ship in the harbor?
It's true. They could board it.
No, I guess if we're not fast enough, there's always a
That's
chance for that.
true.
Well, I do love distractions, but how are we going to get a distraction going? I suppose we could just hire people to be a distraction for us.
We could.
Get everybody on the ship and then have people that aren't going to be on the ship be the distraction further off.
Oh,
Because otherwise, splitting the party, that's just a recipe for disaster, I've heard.
aren't we in a literal house full of orphans? What do orphans like to
Orphans make
do?
the best distraction!
I was an orphan. I loved getting into trouble.
You
It's
were an orphan too?
Well, not was.
Oh
And
yeah, I mean, I still am.
I said
Yeah,
was
like,
first.
Yeah, duh.
Did you say you were?
Yeah.
Did we just become even closer?
Oh my gosh, are we like best friends now?
I think we're best friends now. But I don't want to be disrespectful, but I feel like that could be a built-in distraction.
Listen, give an orphan a piece of bread and they'll like do cartwheels and jump on each other
They'll
and
set
just
things
like
on fire.
they'll be like your own personal circus.
Exactly. I love this.
All right, good plan, good plan.
Okay, so we got one part of it.
Orphans. We're in the orphanage,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Orphan.
Do we want to figure out the rest
Orphans.
of the plan before we send them off?
But I mean, okay, all right. Wait, orphans, wait! Don't come yet. Don't come yet. Just wait.
Mhm. No worries. So I love the orphan idea.
What was your idea?
That was my idea. You basically just said that I didn't make it.
What? No, it was your idea. That was your idea.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's my one contribution. Do we know about how many people? Have we looked at the ship?
You have not really inspected the ship besides knowing that it's in the harbor. If you'd like to sneak out and use a little bit of this time this evening to go take a look at it, while we wait for the rest of our players to get back on.
Yeah.
I
Well,
yeah.
the brain cells are their way. The idiots will
Oh
play.
yes, I feel like we at least need to see how many people are on it. Although it is the middle of the night, they would be sleeping. We could see how
It's a
big
shame
it is.
Kaori isn't here yet. She's not done running her errands.
I
She
know.
would be a really
Well,
big fan of this idea.
That's why I suggested the orphans do the distracting, because I know if she were here, she would say, like, she would be the first to sign up for that.
Oh,
But I feel like we
absolutely.
want her with us. Just
Yeah.
gotta reel her in with us. But yeah, do you want to go scout out the ship?
Yes.
All right, I put my
yes.
arm out for you to like link arms.
And I hook my arm into hers, and I'm just like so excited that somebody is as into adventure as I am.
This is the best. So we head out of the orphanage.
Okay. Are you guys trying to be inconspicuous?
We should
Do I
probably
look
sneak.
inconspicuous?
I'm back.
No, not really.
I'm about to say, and I certainly don't sound inconspicuous.
What about me says I'm inconspicuous?
Well, in that case, I won't have you roll stealth. But as you get out to the harbor, you see the Silver Soul. There's the lettering, the Silver Soul, on the back of the ship. A lot of this ship has silver trim, silver paint along it, not actual silver. But you definitely see a few people around the ship. There's definitely a couple people up in the mast, and then you see multiple lanterns going around the ship. If you'd like to sneak a little closer, I'll let you do a perception check, but you have to give me a stealth check first.
I'll just look over to Riesling and be like, follow my lead. And I'll make eye contact with somebody on the ship, and I'll be like, "Oi, oi, you up there?
Reason doesn't like this.
What did you say?
Oi, come down here.
Why?
I want to talk to you. Why else would I ask you to come down?
It's
just
the
come
middle
down
of
here.
the night. What are you doing out in the docks?
Having fun? What are you doing?
We've got wares to sell.
Sure.
I'm on shift.
Yeah,
Well-
but your shift could be made a little bit more fun by some of these things we've got to sell. Aren't you a little tired?
Also, I'm a ship enthusiast. I want to talk to you about your ship.
This isn't my ship. I just work here.
But do you like working there?
Well, who really
Is this a good
likes
ship to work
working
on?
on a ship? I mean, you're in cramped quarters. You have to sleep in hammocks. It's really not that great of a gig, you know?
So your
don't
shift
know.
could be livened up by buying some of the wink wink fun inducing things we have to sell.
Oh, I like
Yeah.
fun-inducing things. I thought you were just like, pawnbrokers or something.
Oh,
Racing.
these are
What
the
do we have?
drugs. These are the types of wares you sell only at night. I thought that was clear.
Most people don't yell at ships to sell wares
It's
that
the-
are that kind of wares.
It's the enthusiast in her. She's just very excited to be here. It's her first night. She's shadowing me.
You definitely
Yeah.
do seem like some enthusiastic dealers.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn to Bella and just very loudly be like, "So what did we learn? Next time we're not going to be what? Loud.
Loud.
Yes, and we're gonna try to be discreet.
Discreet. See, I was going to say next time I'm not going to be a cat. 'Cause that doesn't seem like it would help very
I mean,
much.
that one too. And so I'm going to turn back to the person and I was like, would you be a dear and help us follow through on and kind of model how these interactions go just so that she can see the proper way to do these things?
Oh yeah, please. It's training night.
Mm-hmm.
Still from the top of the deck. Oh well, I guess sure. I'm always down to help someone learn. And you see him kind of like come around and like go down the gangplank and
Oh my gosh.
and approach the two of you.
My heart is
You
beating
left us
so
alone
fast.
for
I was
like
gonna
2
say.
seconds.
I headcanon that he went
5
to the
seconds.
bathroom and like in the 5 minutes he was in the bathroom, we took off.
Yes,
they go?
good, perfect.
Zod, where do they go?
Well, I'll just hop back to Solarum real fast.
Yeah, sure.
You've you arrived at the orphanage. You went to the restroom, and during the time that you were using the restroom, you come back out and everyone's just gone.
There's probably some orphans in the corner still because we did tell them to wait for us.
Okay.
Yes,
Because we were
We
gonna
summoned the orphans.
So I turned to Zod, just random orphan off the top of my head. Zod, where did they go?
They were talking about giving us bread to distract people, and then they just kind of like got excited about something and left.
Bread?
Yeah,
is
they
a
really thought that we'd
distraction?
wanted bread. Like, I mean,
Oh my
I
gosh.
think
Okay.
they stereotype orphans.
It's fine. Where did they go?
I think they went out towards the harbor district. At least that's the direction that they went.
Oh jeez. All right. Okay. Thanks. I hand him like a silver piece and I dart out
wow.
the door.
That's way
Yeah.
better than bread.
I dart out the door. So
Zod, think about how many knives I can buy with this.
Oh no!
You've just armed the orphans. Way to
I
go.
mean, he's been armed. He's gonna
Ruh-roh,
find.
Raggy.
They're gonna find a way to get knives, whether or not I facilitate it. I might as well be the one that makes sure they get knives and shows them how to use it. Anyway, I take off to the harbor and throw my throw the orphan mother the sign that I'm heading off, so she knows to keep an eye out for Ovid and Zod and make sure they don't get into too much trouble while I'm gone. And then
Too late.
right, head off towards the harbor to track these two down. It shouldn't be too very difficult with as loud as they're
No,
being.
like easily you hear the individuals yelling back and forth on the ship. You see a few drunk people kind of watching, wanting to know what the heck's going on as
Okay.
these two
So,
individuals are yelling
While
up to the
they're
ship.
distracting the people on the ship, I am going to take count of how many people are on there.
See, that was
Absolutely.
the intention from the beginning.
Go
Yep.
ahead and just give
That
me a stealth check to see how
Stealth
close you
check?
can get. I'll
Alright.
let you do it with advantage.
Oh, sweet. I highly doubt I'm going to need it, but that's okay. Yeah, that was a 19 and a 17, so plus...
Yeah, you
whatever
easily
it is for my stealth.
stealth
Yeah.
up.
25.
Tech crew, do you mind coming in here real fast? As you sneak your way into up to the ship, you are able to get over there and look pretty well as they're all facing the other direction. You think that you see at least 6 sailors that are up and around, kind of in various places on the ship and around the ship.
All right.
And you could probably assume that there's more below deck, as there's definitely some lights on and little bits of light peeking through the cracks of the
Okay,
ship.
so somewhere between like 6 and 10.
You really can't tell how many are below decks, but you know that there's at least 6 above deck.
Okay.
And in
So
the
at
middle
least-
of the night.
And I know it would take at least 8 people to crew a ship this size, right?
I mean, it would take 8 people to bare bones. You can
Bare
assume
bones,
that
yeah,
like
okay.
30 to 40 are probably the
Okay, so
ship's crew.
probably closer to probably closer to I'm gonna say just a rough safe estimate there is 10, just from who's above deck and who's below deck. So about 6 on deck. Good to know. And then below deck, do I see any large portals that I would that say like a Leonin-sized individual might be able to slip through?
You definitely could. There's probably some windows around the back of the ship, if you're willing to take a nice little swim over and try to climb up it.
All right. And if so, I will go ahead and kind of like slink into the water, and I'm gonna dive under and go around the back of the ship to see how big the holes are. But I could fit through them. And more
Yeah.
importantly, if a hammerhead shark would be able to fit through it.
Okay. Absolutely. I'll let you do that. Do we have Harley in the game?
I see her in chat. I do not see her on the Twitch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Well, I'm gonna pop back to our verbose drug dealers.
Play this out, see where this goes. I've got
Um,
a plan. Real quick, since we just called the guy down, before he comes down, can I lean to Bella and whisper, "Do you have anything we can pass off as illicit substances?"
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
I
good.
got some of that mushroom juice from down in the
Oh,
tunnels.
perfect. Because I was just gonna like bluff it, but that's even better.
No, makes the tongue feel all weird.
are these the mushrooms that you picked, or are these from like the pots that you like?
I can
taste?
do both. I got mushrooms. I got a pocket full of mushrooms, and I got like I think a vial of the weird like liquid stuff.
Oh
that was
my
in the
gosh!
pots.
If you guys
Out of character, I had
unintentionally-
no idea she had that when I started
Right.
this endeavor, but this
But
is
if
so
you guys
perfect.
unintentionally drug the crewmates to make this fight easier, it's gonna be amazing.
So this individual comes down and approaches the two of you and is like, "So the right way to do drug deals is to whisper. It's a lot better if we whisper and like hide in the shadows. So let's just kind of go." And he goes like away from one of the
I'm
lanterns.
sorry. What
It
did
goes
you
to-
say? That I needed to do.
I grab her arm and I follow him to the side.
Your training really needs to, like, common sense is just not there.
I'm gonna lean into him and just be like, between the two of us, I'm not sure she's gonna stick. But protocols are protocols. Let's go through this. So I'm gonna turn to Bella. I was like, you never pretend you didn't hear this. You never want to tell him the true cost of anything. You want to ask him first how much he thinks it should cost, just so you can feel out kind of like what his price range is.
Yeah,
Okay.
negotiations are
ask him?
really important as far as drug deals go.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we should at this point be like, a creative crits does not endorse stealing drugs, kids.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
do not endorse doing drugs, stealing drugs, distributing drugs. By no means. That.
But we do endorse on-the-job training.
But we do, yes, on the job training, fine. Deals, no.
You guys are ridiculous. Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right.
So would you like to ask him how much he thinks they would cost?
Sure. What's your name, sir?
My name is Ridge. I'm Ridge. I'm a sailor here on the Silver Soul.
Ridge?
Yeah, Ridge.
All right, Ridge. Say that I were to have a pocket full of mushrooms. What would that be worth to you?
Well, it kind of depends on what kind of mushrooms. I mean, are these like portobello?
They're the fun kind.
The fun
Ridge.
kind.
Well, can I take a look at them?
I can wait. Can you take a look at them?
Take one out.
All right, you can have a look at one.
And
And I like pull one of the mushrooms out.
he picks it up and kind of looks at it and is like, "Oh, that's a Taurus glow mushroom. Yeah,
That's a,
We knew that's what
What?
it was called. We knew that.
wait, yeah, no, totally. What's it worth?
well, they're not super strong by themselves, but I'd give 5 silver for a pound of them.
What if it wasn't on its own? And then I pull out the vial.
Oh,
and I
that
like.
is that glow tar.
And I
Now
like,
that's the real deal. I'll give you.
How about that? How much is that worth for to you?
I'll give you 2 gold for that.
2 gold.
Now, see, we had to go through a lot of trouble to get this vial. Our supplier has been in such a mood lately because with all the ships coming in, and since all the
And
ships being
everything being blown
destroyed,
up.
yeah, there's a supply chain backup.
Supply and demand, baby. Supply and demand.
He leans in. He's like, really, like most sailors know that most of the glow tar comes from here. So like now you might be able to pull that some other island, but here we know that there's a lot. So that's probably not a good negotiation tactic.
And Bella, this is how you figure out if somebody is an intelligent buyer or a sheep. And so now we know that we don't have a sheep on our hands. We have an intelligent buyer.
Do we want intelligent people? Or do we want?
Oh,
the
we
sheep?
want the sheep, but it's a subtle way to figure out who's who. We're still gonna
So
sell
we're like-
to him.
We're like the shepherds trying to get all the sheep,
Sure.
and the mushrooms are my shepherd's crook.
Yes. That was exactly what I was going for.
You two are like the
Yeah, I get
most
it.
metaphorical drug dealers I've ever encountered.
That's because this stuff, and I point to her vial, it's that good. It'll just take you to a higher plane of thinking.
Oh my gosh. Guys, we need to steal this ship. Please stop. Okay.
So our particular endeavor always likes to include a little bit of market research in our transactions, just suss out our buyer's base. About how many of your crew, well, first off, about how many are you running with, and then what percentage of them are into the types of things that you're into? Market
Oh,
research.
well, that information might have a cost to it. Are you willing to exchange a little bit of your goods for that information?
Rich, asking for our gifts.
I feel like you know what?
And I grab Riesling's arm and do like the sort of like flirty giggle, and I try and like wink at him.
I was like, you know what, Ridge, you are turning out to be such a good practice patron for this. I feel like, Bella, you're learning a lot, right?
Oh, I'm learning so much.
How about this? Once this deal is concluded, I could speak to my higher ups about maybe getting some sort of agreement going where we'll bring you our new people to train and you'll have a direct line to reliable suppliers of this good stuff. You would be like our new employee trainer.
I guess I could help with employee training. It's also something that our ship has a pretty good you know record. People don't inspect our ship because we're pretty up on the up and up. So I'm sure that I could get some of your goods to other ports if you have other people to pick it up.
Is this ship important?
Well, it's not necessarily important. It's
You said you were on the up and up.
well, it's our master. Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
I feel our endeavor is expanding already
Yeah.
in ways that none of us intended.
My master Roland. He's a bounty hunter, but he is well known for his integrity and his good deeds. So most people don't bother with searching his ship and assume that all of if he's there, he's hunting someone that really is quite murderous and evil.
Oh, so he only goes
Quite
after the.
murderous
And
and
I slapped my hand over Bella's mouth. I was like, I'm sure that is true.
We have
With
a
that
Harley.
being said, let's get back to where we were.
Right.
I was
Right,
asking for
right.
market research, and then let's conclude this business of the transaction of goods,
Goods.
and then you will certainly be seeing us again.
A wink. Do you
So,
say wink when you wink?
You don't have to.
Yeah, it's actually really best if you don't say wink when you wink.
Oh.
It's kind of defeats the purpose. But
Okay.
so
See, you're already great at this job.
so does that mean that you're willing to trade some goods for that market research that you were asking for?
Well, for the vial, I feel like it's my only one right now. So it's really important and I want to keep practicing. But as a share of good faith, I'll give you one mushroom. You said it was like 5 silver for a bushel. Would it be like 1 silver for 1 mushroom? Just as a thank you.
I mean,
But we
one
still want
mushroom
that
doesn't
market
do a
research.
whole lot. It might give you like tingly feet or something, but
That's so much fun.
But that'll
though.
keep
Have
you
ever had
entertained
TTRPG?
on those long night shifts that you were just in the middle of.
well, it's pretty intense. I just, this training of dealers is pretty entertaining. Also, I think that's probably good.
I heard if you took a mushroom before you get a deep tissue massage, it really helps with the results.
Oh yeah, they are quite relaxing. I'm gonna take a second. Do we have Harley on now?
We do, yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes, I believe so.
So, Kaori, what you have snuck out and we're looking around and trying to find more information from the Kinku after the raising of the ship. It's now nighttime. You wander out into the dock district, and you've proceeded to watch 2 of your crewmates yell back and forth up against the ship that you previously talked about stealing. And it appears that they very vocally started some sort of drug deal. You are also aware of Solarum sneaking around to the back of the ship.
Would she be aware of me with the 25 to stealth?
I mean, I'm gonna say that she's been sitting there and she's been just watching the whole deal.
All right.
I don't
no,
know if
I'm
he's
swimming
sneaking
around the
along.
back
Right,
at
yeah.
this point. I've snuck into the harbor and started like swimming around the back of the ship.
Uh-oh. We can hear you on Meets.
Mhm.
So apparently Harley's mic is not working on the stream, so I'm sorry, Harley. What I might have you do is just test that with our tech crew and give them a little bit of feedback as they figure that out. I'm gonna hop back to Solarum. You
Okay.
proceed to swim back to the back of the ship,
Mm-hmm.
and as you kind of like take a peek up, you can tell that there's actually like a little deck outside of where the captain's cabin would be that you could get up onto, and then if you broke the door, you and even the weresharks could get into the back of the ship through those means.
Okay. And does it look like the captain's quarters are currently illuminated?
The captain's quarters are currently not illuminated, but you
All right.
just see some side quarters that are off to the side that are.
All right. So with that information, would it be possible for me to make an educated guess as to whether or not the not me as a person, but like Solarum to make an educated guess as to whether or not the captain would be on the ship at this point?
Go ahead and give me an intelligence or a history check.
All right.
Just for information about.
Okay, so that's a nat 1. Nope, no clue.
Got a little salt water in your eye.
You're really not sure even if this is the captain quarters. It's pretty swanky, but you're not positive.
Okay, but I could fit through those windows for sure.
But you could get in.
Yeah. Okay, cool. That's all I really needed to know. So I swim back to shore.
Okay. Did we get Harley's audio figured out? Okay. Harley, it might be good for you just to periodically say a few things so that eventually they'll get that figured out. Back to this drug deal.
What we could do is try and just have her say a bit about Kaori, and while she's talking, try and figure it out. I don't know if we want that much time there, or yeah.
Well, yeah. Let's go ahead and just tell us something about Kaori that.
Kaori is probably really confused about what is happening with the two, Bella and I don't know why your name.
Yep. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead and keep going. So Kaori said that she's really confused about what's happening with Riesling and Bella.
For the record, there was a plan in place at the beginning. We very quickly lost sight of that plan, but there was one, I think.
I wouldn't say pretty quickly, immediately.
Yeah, like almost before we even left the orphanage, the plan was gone. But inside the orphanage, before we left, there was a plan.
And Kaori is probably somewhat regretting sneaking off for a second because she's gonna want to steal this ship.
And do we have Kaori on where our viewers able to hear her?
We do.
We do.
Yep.
Okay.
Wonderful. Woo, we did it.
This has been a
Power of
night
friendship.
of all sorts of technical issues.
I'm so sorry.
No problem.
Technical adventures.
You should have seen us all pre-stream.
Girl, yeah,
Oh,
you should
same.
see
We
us,
were running
like-
around with our heads chopped off. It was bad.
I have like 3 different headsets plugged into 3 different devices right now. It's just like, it's wild. It's crazy. So you're totally fine. Totally fine, girl. Just glad you're here.
Hi.
All right.
Yes. All right, back to the drug deal.
Well, I'm actually gonna hop over to Kaori and let Harley catch up a little bit. Like I mentioned before, you kind of have seen a little bit of this going on. My assumption is that you were probably around when you first started seeing them partake in this very verbose drug deal, yelling back and forth between the ship and the docks. and it gathered enough of your attention because you knew who they were and what they were probably trying to do, that you've kind of had your eye on it. What would you like to do?
Is there anybody else around that I can see?
There's a few people coming in and out of the bars back behind you, and every once in a while they'll look over and like be like, when they were when Riesling and Bella were still yelling, they would like look over, but now that they're kind of all talking by the barrels, no one's really paying attention. You definitely see a few people with lanterns up on the deck of the ship, but
The ship we're trying to steal.
yeah, and you can probably gather that they're trying to get more information about the ship from
Tomorrow morning, we're stealing it, right? Tomorrow
Yeah,
morning?
the intention was to sneak over and see how many people were on the ship. That was the plan inside the orphanage. We walked out of the orphanage, and that plan went out of our brains.
I feel like we're still doing a really good job at running reconnaissance.
Oh, absolutely.
I want to turn into a fox.
Mhm.
So I'm going to change into my fox form, and I'm going to go onto the ship.
Okay. I'm gonna have you go ahead and give me a stealth check. You are a white fox, so
Okay.
And it is nighttime.
Ooh, 7.
so in kind of plain sight, you walk past the dock right by Riesling and Bella, and past Ridge, that as they're doing their drug deal, you walk up the plank and onto the ship, and everyone kind of looks. Is that the same fox that burned down the other ship?
What? No. What? You crazy? That was a cat.
You guys haven't
Are you
given me any
blind?
of these mushrooms yet, have you?
No, but I'm starting to wonder if you took maybe a little bit of a bite while I wasn't looking. That was totally a cat. I'm gonna try and roll deception.
Okay. Please do that with disadvantage because
Because the claim is so absurd.
Okay. So even with disadvantage, that is going to be
Oh,
a 21.
she's good at
Man, like,
very good at charisma.
you know what,
That's
I do partake in a lot of exciting things, so I guess I should probably just trust your judgment that that's a cat.
It's just, and cat. You know what they say? Cats before a voyage are good luck because they'll eat all the rats.
I was
before you
just
get out.
about to say, it's just natural that you would have a cat or two, unless, you're not paying attention. There's probably rats on your ship.
Yeah. So it's good luck. Best not to get a gift cat in the mouth.
Yeah.
Or look at it at all.
Oh, look at it at all. Just don't look at the cats.
Okay, I guess. So Ridge proceeds to continue talking to you, the two of you. Kaori, you link onto this ship. The deck is fairly small. There's 2 lifeboats kind of in the center of the ship. There is one. The foremast is much larger than the aft mast. There's only 2 masts on it. But this is a smaller ship, much smaller than the ship that you guys proceeded to burn down before. You see a couple people on the deck kind of walking around with their lanterns. For the most part, they're not keeping super close attention. And there's definitely a few people up in the rigging up above you.
Oh, this is what I see.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of taking count of how many people are on this ship. I'd like to take-
Above deck, there are currently 5 people on the ship, plus Ridge that is out on the docks.
Okay. I just kind of want to keep looking around as they're doing their negotiating.
Absolutely. I'll have you go ahead and give me another stealth check as you kind of weave in and out of the barrels, and go ahead and do that with advantage because you do have a lot of cover. Solarum, what are you doing?
So I have gone back to shore.
Okay.
It seems like any additional recon that's to be done is going to be more effective with Kiori. So I'm going to head back to the orphanage and start reconnoitering with the crewmates to
Just
actually
leaving us there.
develop a plan to take the ship in the morning,
Absolutely. Okay.
because we need to do this like ASAP. So, but
Okay.
they've got this. We've got a really good distraction outside, and Kiori seems to know what she's doing.
Okay, Bella and Riesling. What else would you like to say and deal with this guy?
So I feel like we've gotten a little bit off track. You've been lovely, Ridge.
Oh,
Let's
thank you. I appreciate helping another individual, and I know that how hard training can be.
Mhm.
Another enthusiast.
Exactly. So let's bring this back together. What say we have our pouch o mushrooms for that market research, or because we really need to keep the vial to continue with the training. How does that sound to you?
That sounds fine. I'll take your bag of mushrooms for a little bit of a market research, and I'll give you a good idea for all sorts of ships, not just mine.
Oh, excellent. Well, since this one I can see it, let's start with yours. About how many people are on your ship, and what percentage are into illicit substances?
Well,
Because we can come back with
our
more.
our full crew is 45, but there's only a portion, about a quarter of that's on the ship currently.
Oh, I was gonna say, it's like you've hit 45 people on that little ship.
But I would say that probably there's about 5 to 10 people on every ship that would partake in substances when they go to shore. You get your coin from the voyage and you want to spend it and on something fun.
And what number of people stay on the ship during the day versus, I'm assuming they all come back at nighttime to sleep on the ship, or do you stay in the taverns?
Yeah, like
About half of them are at
morning.
night. Are at night. There's probably there's probably about 19 during the daytime, maybe about 25 during nighttime.
And they're all actively on the ship doing shippy things.
Well, most of them are sleeping. Day and night. We got to keep watches.
Mm-hmm.
You guys don't go about the city. It's really hard to just try and get to people on your ship to do this. There's no time at which I could just meet you in a tavern, or you guys don't go for dinner or anything. You're in a city. Why are you staying on the ship? That's
Well,
weird.
it's expensive to stay in town, but half of us are almost always in town and drinking it up. But they have gotten a little bit more strict. That other ship burned down. There was this flying fox that did some stuff, and some crazy stuff happened yesterday.
It sounds like they could have used a cat on their ship. I bet you that cat
Yeah.
could have chased a fox off.
Yep.
Yeah,
Cats are great.
that's probably true. Maybe that's
Mhm.
fox.
You know what I'm hearing, Ridge? I'm hearing that you all work too hard.
We do
And
work
you're not
pretty
paid
hard.
enough. What
Mhm.
if?
Ah.
What if, as part of our thank you for this tonight, because you've been so amazing, and I would love to see you again, if I give you enough gold to, I don't know, go into the tavern, make it easier for us to bring all your crewmates, and not say all of them, but bring them all into the pub down the road, and then I can meet all of them, and then you all can have a nice night on me, and then hopefully it can be a networking opportunity.
Well,
Come on, Ridge. Come on, Ridge.
Riley, our first mate, is really quite tough, and if I skipped my shift, she really would fire me, and it's probably stretching a little bit even that I'm out here on the docks and not guarding the ship. So maybe not tonight, but tomorrow, during the day, I'll have the day off. So,
Let's all go get brunch.
yeah,
Like,
brunch sounds
let's
great.
all go for breakfast.
Where should
Come on me.
tomorrow morning?
Alright,
Where should I meet you?
Yeah, down the what's a tavern that's like
The Salty Malty.
Maybe in the Iron District.
Yeah, the Salty Malty is nearby. Really quite cheap drinks. That's where you discovered the secret about your map.
I want it to be far enough away that like they
He
can't just
see
run
the
right
dock.
to the docks.
Yeah.
But like close enough that it's not totally sus that like I want them away. So like kind of like not maybe on the harbor, but like maybe like a couple blocks in from like the harbor, the pier.
The Banshee Brews is the farthest south tavern, bar that's in the harbor district, and that's probably
Okay.
what would be close enough that it's not sus, but not.
I'll be like,
right
I'll be
next
like, I've made really good friends with the with the cook down at the Banshee's Brew. Banshee's Brew?
Oh,
Banshee's
they
Brew.
have
Just
the
said it.
good mimosas there, don't they?
Oh yeah, just amazing
Oh,
sea breeze
it's
mimosas.
mostly drink and just like
Yeah,
they hold an
really-
orange over it and they don't squeeze it. They just
Oh,
hold
just
it over top so you
like
get
the
the essence.
waft
Like essence of orange.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's just the essence of an orange.
Yeah, it's great, and I know the cook pretty well. They'll give me a really good deal for all of you.
Did you guys just describe medieval LaCroix?
Yeah. Fantasy LaCroix. Exactly it.
It's White Claw because it's alcoholic, so it's fantasy White Claw. Hashtag not sponsored.
Oh, jeez. Well, that sounds great. I'll bring a bunch of my crewmates and we'll meet you there tomorrow morning.
Yeah. So,
Excellent.
So we can give the cook an idea of how many people to expect. How many of your friends will you be bringing, and how many will that leave on the ship?
Well,
And so I know how much gold to give you tonight as a show of good faith. I don't want. I know we just met tonight, but like Rich, like we really made a connection.
I could probably bring about 5 of my crewmates, but they'll all be off duty also, so there'll still probably be, a number of people on the ship.
Well,
But wait, why
we should have a
are you
posse.
asking how many people will be on the ship?
Because we want to sell to as many people as we can. We got a limited supply, Ridge. I thought you were the one doing the trading here.
Yeah, I guess that does make sense. Okay.
We got lost in the proportions. 25%
Keep up, man,
you said
keep
would
up.
be down, 5 are coming. It's a numbers game.
All right. Well, I'm gonna give him 10 gold.
Okay. That's a good amount of gold for him. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And I'm gonna be like, this is because I trust you, Ridge. Bring as many people as you can so I can get rich off the sheep. And I just like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
'Cause
Okay.
if she
I'm not
recruits
one of the sheep
people-
though, right?
No. You're the
we're
shark.
having this
You're the shark.
Oh, okay.
We're having this conversation. You're a shepherd now. Like pound it, shepherd.
Oh, yeah.
Fist in, group shepherd.
Y'all are
So-
ridiculous.
We should quit.
Yeah, and so I'm gonna once again loop my arm around hers, and I'll be like, "We'll see you
So-
tomorrow."
You
There
guys
should've been
head out.
plenty of time for Kaori to dive
Ridge
in.
heads back onto the ship. Kaori, you have been foxing around this ship, sneaking in and out. What was your stealth?
15.
15. As you're sneaking about, it's dark. These lanterns, are kind of just making little pools of light as so you can kind of gather where each of these guards are. You look around. You do notice that there is while the captain's cabin is unoccupied, you do notice that the first mate's cabin is currently occupied. You also get a handle on a little bit more about this ship. This does not seem to be a trading vessel. It's not really outrigged for trading. There are 2 ballista that are on the back of the ship, one on each side. Is there any other information in particular that you're looking to gain from it?
Would I be able to see anything like with my cool eye that
Yeah,
I would have not noticed beforehand?
Absolutely. You look down and all in, you tell that there's probably just under 20 people on the ship in various spots around the ship.
Okay. And I would like to stay on board for the evening, for the
Okay.
night.
Yeah, I think you totally can do that. Can you describe where would you like to sleep for the night?
Just in between some barrels. Kind of, I would like to seem as cat-like as possible. Actually, hold up.
Oh, do you have disguise self?
I was like, no, don't you have wild shape?
I was
You're a
gonna say I
druid.
could wild
Oh.
shape
You can just
into
be a cat.
She could just wild shape into a white cat. Lend more credibility to Captain Bella's
I do that?
completely ridiculous story. Oh.
I wanna do that. Can
I
do
think
that?
you can absolutely
Okay.
wild shape into a cat.
I'm gonna wild shape into a cat.
Do you let
So-
the crew see you now that you're a cat?
I'm gonna kind of stay behind the barrels
Okay.
still, but if they find me, I'm gonna look like a cat.
Okay, sounds good. You stay behind the barrels. There's some barrels in the center of the ship. You also could probably hop into one of the lifeboats and kind of sleep in there out of sight if you'd like to. But for the night, you're able to hang out there. Solarum, you've headed back to the orphanage. Your crew, the total of the crew, you have 8 crew members currently.
Yes, 5 from Bella's gallivanting earlier, and then we've got Mako, Waco, and Yates from the orphanage, correct?
Yes, and
Yes.
some of those members of the crew that you've gathered are Toxa, Squat, Wit, and Fig.
Squat, Wit, and Fig.
Yep.
All right.
Toxa is a red dragonborn artificer. Squat is a
Nice.
were-rat halfling. Wit is a winged tiefling. And Fig is a black tabaxi. And these are all people that are part of our Discord community that have joined your crew.
And who is Fig again?
That's so
Fig is
exciting.
the black tabaxi.
And who's Wit?
Wit is the winged tiefling.
Winged tiefling. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and.
It's a reason to
and
join the
then-
Discord.
Mako, Waco, and Yates, you are very familiar with at this point.
All right.
So exciting.
So I am going to go ahead and kind of draw out a battle plan with the crew that we have so far. With the tiefling and the tabaxi, they seem like they're going to be like. No, actually, they all seem pretty dexterous. Actually, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna have Toxa kind of hang back with me since he's like the artificer, and I'm used to working with artificers, kind of. And then gonna have Squat, Fig, and Wit kind of be on standby when they see the signal between Toxa and I. They'll go ahead and storm the ship from nearby to kind of get the jump on anybody that's on deck.
Okay.
So what we'll do is we'll have Squat, Wit, and Fig in stealth mode, so we can have them roll for stealth or what have you.
Yeah.
And then Toxa and I are gonna go ahead and go around the back and climb in through the back windows, take out if the captain's there, take out the captain, and then kick the door open, and that'll be the signal to go ahead and storm the ship. We'll have Waco and Mako and Yates underneath the ship, ready to go ahead and leap on deck at the signal as well.
Okay. Can you tell me what Toxa is doing?
So Toxa and I are going to go in and we're going to try and overpower anybody that's in the captain's quarters from the back.
Okay.
So we're going to swim around back and go through the windows in the back that I saw. That'd be big enough for me and Toxa to sneak through.
I'll have them go ahead and give me a strength check. Squat, Wit, and Fig, if you don't mind going ahead and giving me dex or stealth checks to see if you can go get the upper hand on people. And I'll give you guys a little bit of time to get back to me as far as the Discord goes. In the meantime, does Bella and Riesling, do you go back to the orphanage?
Yeah, we go back to
think
the
so.
orphanage. And Riesling is like grinning ear to ear. It's been a while
yeah,
since
just, like,
she's
arm-
like bonded with somebody, and she likes having close gal pals.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Bella's just like, oh my gosh, we did so good. Like, that went way better than I could have expected.
I don't know.
We
I
made-
totally forgot. I didn't even know you had drugs on you, but we must have
I
been on the
forgot
same
too.
wavelength.
There was totally like a wavelength thing happening. I
Mhm.
could feel it.
I was thinking things, you were doing things. I think we had him totally convinced.
Oh, totally. And if that didn't convince him, the 10 gold surely will. People like love getting gold.
Absolutely. And so we head back to the orphanage.
Just like proud of ourselves
Mhm,
and
like,
like
chin
the
up,
fact
like-
that we like idiot through to that like really successfully.
Nice.
So do we see Solarum when we get back to
Yeah,
the orphanage?
He has like this gathering of different individuals all around him, and he's kind of making plans with each of them.
You see like a diorama like that I've set up, or not like a diagram of the ship that I've set up, like drawn
A
in the sand.
diorama.
Well, like
little
like,
miniature,
like one of those
whoa.
3D maps,
Whole
like for
straight
like
up
live play
cross-section
D&D.
of the ship.
Exactly. Like there's minis of each of us.
Yeah.
Oh my god, we're
This is
playing
getting
D&D.
real meta.
You're like
Right.
carved
Yeah,
each of the
meta.
minis like
Mhm.
out of wood. Yeah.
No. But I have like a little diagram of the ship
Mhm.
like drawn
Okay.
in the sand in front of the orphanage, and we're kind of making plans by like lamplight.
I
Mhm.
just like wave over. Ahoy, Solarum!
And since we don't know he was there, correct? We never saw him.
No, I don't think we ever
No,
did.
so I'm just gonna be like,
Yep.
you're not gonna believe the amount of incredible information we just got from the fish guy ship.
Yeah, I totally remember all of it.
You see, I've kind of already drawn out like somewhere between like 6 and 8 individuals on the top part there, and then I've put another like 6 to 8 on like the second part of the middle. So
I'm
when
like,
you
oh,
make 'em up-
how did you know that? That's what we were coming to say.
Solarum, are you on the wavelength too?
let's just say I'm very insightful. Yes.
Oh my gosh, this is so cool. I've never been inside so many people's brains before. Or are you in my brain? Is that how that works?
I think it's like a mutual thing. Like we're
we like share a brain.
Exactly.
We share a brain cell.
Clearly, there's one brain cell, and Solarum is currently in possession of it.
Only because Kiori's on the ship.
That's like the average D&D party.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yep.
All right.
But what are you doing? Are these our crew?
These are our crewmates.
Are you my crew?
You see them
Should I
all
just-
kind of like, affirm that they're the crew for your ship, and
Well, it's so nice to see you. I'm glad you decided to come here with us. I'm going to be the captain, Captain Bellabones.
Oh,
And
so are we just taking made-up titles now? I want to be gunnery sergeant.
you can be the gunnery sergeant. But no, I am
Gunnery
actually a
sergeant.
captain. I know how to sail a ship.
Oh, well, I'm not really a gunnery sergeant. Is that gonna be a problem?
That's all right. How hard could it be to like man a ship gun?
Yeah.
this is gonna go beautifully. This is just gonna be. All right. So.
Perfect.
Um.
So are we going over the plans?
Yes. Here's the plan for storming the ship. Now I don't know where Kaori is on all this, so I'm just gonna trust her.
I
She
think
seems
she's
to-
already on the ship. We saw
No
a white
kidding.
fox go on. We convinced them it was a cat. That
Yep,
was
she's on the
Bella's.
ship.
It was so smart of her. It went so well.
Well, we have somebody on the inside. Then that's helpful.
Mhm.
We'll see if that ends up if we end up having her on the ship when we take off, or if she's gonna run some reconnaissance beforehand and meet up with us before. That'll work. I'm gonna leave a message with Lath to have her, if all else fails and we get separated, to have her meet with us a couple miles south of Stormbreak south of the vineyards. I have
Right,
I
okay.
have some people that we're
Amazing.
going to meet up with there as well. After we've taken the ship, we've got some cargo that we're going to be transporting. You can add that to your little repertoire there, Bella. Illicit cargo smuggling.
Oh my gosh, I'm learning so much today.
All right.
You know what? Kaori is on the same wavelength as us. I guarantee you, if she's on that ship, it's because she knew exactly what Bella and I were doing.
Yeah.
And she's waiting for us to help tomorrow.
All
Yeah.
right.
She's on the wavelength.
All
I
right.
have faith.
The wavelength. Trust the wavelength.
Feel the
Kaori-
waves.
If Kaori were here right now, I would tell her that she should stay on the ship and wait for somebody to come down, and when she heard those footsteps, to just go at it full
You know what?
bore and take
I bet
people
you-
Yeah,
out
but she's
under
not
the-
here.
Exactly,
So
exactly.
you just
It's
sound
just
like an
so-
idiot.
I
right
bet
now,
you if
talking
we
to
thought
nobody.
it really hard, because I mean, we're picking up wavelengths. He picked up our wavelength. Let's think it really hard for a second.
Groupthink.
Actually, I have an idea here. Actually, I do
Yeah,
have an idea.
she got it.
And I turn to Ortho. And I am going to tell Ortho to find Kaori. I'm going to tell him where to find her, somewhere on the ship. And I'm going to tell Ortho to give a message to Kaori. And I believe it's up to three messages. Yes? Is
Three
that what we
words.
agreed on there, Ian?
Yeah. That's,
Three
yeah, that's
messages.
fine.
Okay. So the first message is stay on the ship. The second message is don't attack until joined by a crewmate. And the third message is
You're beautiful.
Ortho
Who
picks
are
up
you talking to?
on Bella's message before I have the chance to finish my message to Ortho. Oh yeah, that's right. Riesling, you haven't met Ortho yet.
No.
I turn and you. I kind of like shuffle my robes, and you see this little parrot. This very beautiful, like green and red parrot, like crawl out, and then like uses its beak to like crawl up onto my shoulder. And you have never seen a parrot like this before.
I haven't seen any
this
parrots
strange-
before.
Yeah, strange coloring. And he's actually a baby dire parrot.
I love it so
And
much. You said
so-
it's named Ortho?
Ortho.
Like orthopedics?
I mean, I was gonna
Oh,
say.
I made you glow.
Oh, yes. Gosh darn it.
I
Okay.
made you glow.
I love the auto white balance on this. Anyway, no. As far as that goes, Ortho is just a dire parrot,
Mhm.
baby dire parrot, and he is making a. He's going to take some messages back and forth, and I explain this to
Aw.
you as we send the
I
messages
reach out. Can I pat him on the head?
Sure.
I give him a little pat. I was like, good
Oh.
job, orthopedics.
Can I hop over to Harley real fast?
Yeah, absolutely.
So this dire parrot comes to you as you're hiding and kind of squawks quietly to you to stay on the ship, wait for crewmates to join you to fight, and that you're beautiful. And then flies away. But
Can I give him a message before he leaves, though?
yeah, sure.
Say, duh.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
And out of curiosity, does she hear each message in the sender's voice? So 2 from Celerum, 1 from Bella, or is it all the same?
Well,
like,
it's
voice?
probably like a different pitch. You know, the
Okay.
first 2 are a little deeper. The second one's a little higher pitch. But you know, you probably can't tell who it's from necessarily.
I have an
So
accent.
she maybe thinks
Or
Celerum
doesn't.
thinks she's beautiful.
Oh.
My guess
Right,
is that Kaori could probably distinguish that it's not from Solarum.
I don't know. That's
But-
up to her.
Yep.
I am going to not say anything about it. I'm just
Okay.
going to say, duh.
Duh.
The message that's returned is duh.
Yep, that's
And-
her. That's definitely
Oh,
her.
good.
She
She's
got it.
safe. She's good.
Kaori, in the meantime, you hear some of the different ship's guards speaking and talking about how there's going to be this giant big brunch the next day, and that they should all go out to this brunch, and there might be some really nice illicit goods that at this brunch. And you hear them all kind of talking about that. As the sun starts to rise, these crew that get off duty all kind of start rushing off to some meeting, while other exhausted crew members start to file on from a night out in town and drinking. Is there anything that you'd like to do on the ship over the course of the night?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm gonna try it once. We're gonna try one stealth thing once.
Okay.
I want to see if I can cause a little bit of chaos. Maybe tie some rope some places. Tie people's shoes together. I want to see if I can cause a little bit of chaos while I'm there.
Absolutely. Let me give you so there's some rigging that currently the mast is up. You can possibly sneak around and release the mast so the sails unfurl, which is an option of what you can do. I will absolutely let you go around and try to tie some shoes if you'd like to do that. Go ahead and give me a stealth check and tell me exactly what you're trying to do for that stealth check.
Okay. Ooh, nat 20. What's up? Okay. Ooh, what's gonna be the most effective thing I can do here? So with the masts, if I let those down, I apologize. I don't know a ton of ship terms.
No.
Is that gonna
Just
make it
make 'em
easier
up.
for us to leave? Or is that gonna make it like what does that do?
Well, I mean, at least that it's one less thing that you have to do before you leave. It will also probably likely push you up against the docks, and it would probably cause a little bit of chaos as they're trying to figure out what the heck and why this fell. Chances are they'll probably get it taken care of pretty quickly, but at least they'll be running around the decks while they do that.
Let's do that.
Without a flaw, you go up and almost magically with your little cat paw release this line, and the ship's sails unfurl and catch the wind and push the ship up against the docks, and you can kind of feel the ship tilt a little bit as it catches. The rest of the crew, are you ready to go ahead and follow through with your plans?
I think so.
Riesling
So I
doesn't
just
know
want-
the plan.
I don't know the plan.
No, I would have definitely gone over the plan from go.
So what's
with
the
you
plan?
guys. All right. So here this is me going over it like the night before.
Mhm.
Yes, exposition at me.
So that
Yep. So what we're going to do is we're going to have you and Riesling, along with Squat, Fig, and Wit, go ahead and hide along the docks. And then when you see the signal from the captain's quarters, where I and Toxa will be storming the ship first, that's the first step. You all are going to rush the ship, and we're going to take out all of the crew members on the deck. We are going to have Mako, Waco, and Yates underwater on either side of the ship, and from underneath, they're going to rush the crewmates from the water. And they're going to take out the individuals they're going to help take out the individuals on the deck, and then immediately go underneath to take out the individuals on the bottom there.
Okay.
We want to. Me and Tox and I are going to take down the captain first, and then we want to.
I want the captain.
you get
Believe
their
me.
room.
Believe me.
You want their room.
We're going to make sure that you get to talk to the captain. But everything needs to be as non-lethal as possible. The more crewmates that we have tied up, knocked out, taken alive, the more more help we're going to have on the high seas. A lot of people are going to be more inclined to joining a pirate crew than being tossed overboard and taking their chances at sea.
We also need to make sure that there's not too many taken captive, because that's asking for a mutiny.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We're going to make sure that there's less, as long as there's less than 4 that are on deck, we have majority of people who are loyal to us. So
Okay.
as long as we have 4, and then of course we're going to have the captain as leverage there.
I'd say so long as they're able-bodied and like not compromised, throw them over the ship, throw them overboard. That way they can swim to shore. And then anybody who's like knocked out, unconscious, or like their limbs have been compromised or broken, keep them on the ship. Because I'd rather have it, we have a crew of 10. That's enough to crew the ship.
Right.
We don't really need.
Is that all we need to
everybody.
crew the ship? Is the 10 that we have here?
Bare bones is 8.
Bare Bella Bones.
we have-
Ooh, that didn't.
Yeah, we would need at least 8 for bare bones. We have 10. So I think it's a good idea that, if we're able to throw the able-bodied over, we do that. That way we're not throwing anybody to their death. And then we keep all of the others here. But that, I don't know, that just makes sense to me. But then, I'm not a strategist, but we have a pretty good crew.
All right.
Okay,
If
so
you don't want to
we're
take
tossing
anybody,
them over.
we just toss them over.
Right, because we have 5 total from town, and then we got 3 recruits from the orphanage.
Should
right?
we be worried about the ones we sent to the Banshees brew
Yeah,
coming
No.
back early? Should we
No.
maybe?
because we're gonna time this. We're gonna be smart. We're gonna time it for when they're there, right? Because we're gonna be able to see when they leave.
We're gonna watch the ship from the shore, and then when
Yeah.
the
Say
crew
that 3 times fast.
when the crew
What
changes
we see
shift,
from the shore.
when the crew changes shift, we're gonna go ahead and count to 20, and then we're gonna go ahead and Toxa and I will go ahead and take the captain's quarters from behind.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think we should wait until the other crew are way out of earshot.
Right.
At the
Precisely.
whatever
They'll
wherever
be
Garnishes is
like a
from.
minute or 2 gone from the ship before we actually start. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's what I think. I love the plan, Solarum. Good initiative. Keep up with that, and you'll be first mate in no time.
Why isn't he first mate already? I think he deserves it. I mean, look at all this diagram he did.
Now, listen, if this plan goes off without a hitch, I think that entitles Solarum to the title of first mate. But we're a crew, not a dictatorship.
I'll follow.
So
I'll follow your lead, Captain.
I turned to the crew and I was like, "Raise your hand if you vote Solarum as first mate."
I raise my hand.
Okay.
All right. I reached my hand out. Congratulations, first mate.
The rest of them kind of vaguely raise their hands, not knowing what's going on. But yes, the rest of them do participate. Not all of them know what they're voting for, though.
Okay.
That's okay. They don't need to. They just need to trust me.
All right.
All right. Well, the best thing before a big day is good night's rest. So,
All right.
let's sleep up, and we're gonna get bright and early in the morning to get in position.
All right.
And Solarum, can the orphans have breakfast made really early? Are they the ones that cook breakfast?
No, that'd be Lath,
Oh.
the
Oh, wait, aren't we gonna have a distraction? Oh, weren't the orphans gonna be a distraction? I remember that being a thing. Was that an idea that we had?
Yeah, we're gonna have. We're gonna have Ovid and. I totally forgot about that part. We are gonna have Ovid and Zod go ahead and start a ruckus, just kind of calling the crew names while Toxa and I head back.
Gotcha.
And then
Okay.
on the signal, they're gonna book it. We don't want
All
them in trouble.
Okay.
So
No, we don't.
Well,
Okay.
so
Perfect.
I'm gonna at least set this up a little bit, and then we're
Yeah.
gonna go on break. Just because
Sure.
it has taken a little bit of time.
Yeah.
But everyone gets into position. Kaori waits quite patiently as she releases this sail, and just as like the sail releases and people are frantic about that, you see Ovid and Zod start calling names to the crew, calling them idiots and other various slurs, as they're trying to deal with this ship bumping up against the docks.
Yellow-bellied lamb
Um,
lovers.
Fig manages to climb in almost entirely without being seen up to the top ranks of the rigging, and waits for the signal. Once it's heard, you see this black tabaxi toss one of the sailors off the mast and him fly down, and splash into the water as another sailor gets pulled off of the deck by a were-rat named Squat.
Nice.
Wit flies up to it shortly after everyone else, flies up and gets into the rigging and starts to wrestle and try to get one of the other sailors that are up in the rigging out of it. You and Toxa, and along with Mako and Waco, easily knock down the door to find that the captain's room is still empty.
Empty. Sweet.
And that's where we're going to go to break.
All right.
Okay. Perfect. I'm excited.
Oh,
Yes.
here we
We're
go.
taking off.
Hello nerds, and welcome to Let's Make It Nerdy with Creative Crits, where we show you how to make craft cocktails based off of nerd and geek culture. I'm your mixologist Bree, and today we're going to be making a drink for the Rogue as part of our D&D Classes series. Let's go ahead and get started with the sneak attack. To start, the tools that you're going to need for today are going to be a shaker, your trusty strainer, something to measure with, a couple of spoons, a metal sieve or a flour sifter, and the glass that we're going to be using is going to be a lowball or a rocks glass. So let's hop over to the ingredients. We are going to be making a coffee cocktail. It's actually a riff on a B-52 bomber, but classed up a little. So we're gonna start with our coffee liqueur. Gonna need 1.5 ounces of that. And then we're gonna have 3/4 of an ounce of our dark rum. We're going to have 1/2 ounce of our orange liqueur and another 1/2 ounce of simple syrup. That's gonna make the base of the drink. Now for the garnishes, we have quite a lot going on. So the simplest is some coffee beans, an orange slice, and we are actually gonna be topping this with hand-whipped whipped cream using just heavy whipping cream and some Irish cream liqueur. And then dusting all of that off is going to be some cocoa powder. So let's get started. We're going to have our 1.5 ounces of the coffee liqueur. And then move to the 3/4 of an ounce of the dark rum. And then the 1/2 ounce of orange liqueur. And lastly, in here, we're going to need our simple syrup and just 1/2 ounce of that as well. Next, we're going to put quite a bit of ice into the shaker. Good seal, and then shake. Now that that's all mixed, let's go ahead and prep the glass. So I'm using a rather large ice cube for this. It's sometimes called a rocks cube. You can get them in any shape. I'm using spheres, and you can get this mold or molds like this at Target, Walmart, pretty much anywhere. You don't have to break the bank. So we're gonna just strain into our glass. Now let's get to the whipped cream for topping. So first we're going to need to add the Baileys, 1 ounce of Baileys to 5 ounces of heavy whipped cream. And then just whip that together. Now that that's all whipped, we're going to just top off our cocktail with a little bit of the whipped cream, enough to cover it completely and bring it up to volume. Depending on your glass, how much whipped cream you have to put on top is going to vary. Also, while I'm getting this all on the top here, if you are a fan of sweeter whipped creams, you can always add some of the simple syrup into the whipped cream and whip that together. It's just gonna sweeten it up. It won't change the consistency or anything like that. Now that that's all topped off, let's go ahead and dust it with the cocoa. So I have a nice little stencil here. This is our Rogue for our sneak attack. Put that right on top. And of course, if you don't have this, it's fine. Just, powder the cocoa to your heart's content. So part of why I'm using a metal sieve is because if you're used to working with baking cocoa, you will know that it sticks to itself, and so this just kind of helps get a finer dusting over that drink. Almost done. We just gotta put a few of our coffee beans on either side of our little dude, the orange peel garnish, and there you go, the sneak attack. Do you want to take a taste? Let's do it. I like coffee, but I must say that this is probably one of my favorite drinks, and not just because I love coffee. It does not taste like it has any alcohol in it, and that's what kind of makes it so dangerous. The coffee adds a nice toasty, roasty backbone for all of the other flavors to sit on. Same with the dark rum. If you don't add the rum in there, I'm sure you'll notice, but when it's all playing together really nicely, I think it just takes a back seat and lets everything else shine. The Contreu, or the orange liqueur, and the simple syrup do a lot to sweeten it up, and then that orange liqueur just adds so much depth of flavor. The coffee flows through the cream, and so it kind of like mellows everything out in a way that makes it quite possibly one of the most dangerous drinks drinks I've ever made. And that's part of why I chose what I did for this drink. When thinking about what speaks rogue to me, the first thing that came to mind was coffee. The sort of chaotic rush you get after ingesting too much caffeine. But I wanted it to be very, not necessarily sweet, but deceptive. So this drink is made of pretty much nothing but alcohol, but you can't really taste it at all. So I really wanted that to come together in a delicious drink. Plus rogues are my favorite, and coffee's my favorite. So that's why I went with this. So be careful, because it'll sneak up on you. And thank you so much for tuning in for this drink. If you want to see more, comment below with what class you want to see next, or maybe how your sneak attack turned out if you made this at home. This has been Let's Make It Nerdy with the Creative Crits channel, and I'll see you next time.
Welcome back, guys. I hope you had a good break. We had a good break, but let's hop back into it because we left off at a pretty intense moment. Our ship's crew has made their moves. I am now going to turn it over to our players to tell me what are you doing. I'm going to start with Harley, and go ahead and roll initiative for me.
Everybody roll initiative?
Yes, everybody.
Okay.
Oh, first roll of the night.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm going to say that you could still be in your wild chip. Just make sure that you have that one use of it used up. Yep.
Okay. Oh, excuse me.
Bless you.
You got an 8, Kaori? Okay. What are you, Solarum?
I got a 13.
13. Okay. What are you, Riesling?
I got a 3.
Okay. What are you, Bella?
21.
Ooh.
Perfect. Okay. Well, I'm going to actually go to, sorry, Kaori, I'm going to go to Bella first. With the 21, you see all the stuff that's going on. How would you like to react to it?
Have I seen the signal yet, or was the signal just to
you
go...
hear a loud bang and yell from the with Solarum signal. Is there anything else that you'd like to do to signal people, Solarum?
At this point, I would guess that I'm kind of just taking a lead from Toxa's being an artificer, and I'm gonna have like a bang and hop, probably like a visual out the side there. So have him fire off like a prestidigitation like firework out the side.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, he can easily shoot, a beam of flame out the side. Also being a dragonborn. And of course the mast has also fallen from Kaori, and Ovid and Zod are yelling insults at different crewmates. You also proceed to see see Fig having thrown somebody off the tops of the mast, and various other individuals that are part of the crew starting to do things.
All right.
Okay.
Where are you, and what would you like to do?
So,
Bella.
wait,
Yeah,
me?
Bella.
I
Bella
thought you were
first.
me. Okay, so really quick, because we got to this point like really, really quickly, the only thing that I would have done before we got into our places and this started is really, really early in the morning, I would go to the brunch place, and I would fold up one of my wanted posters, but after I had given a very distinct lipstick kiss to it and signed it Captain Bella Bones, and tell them that when the crew of the Silver
Soul.
something,
Silver Soul.
the Silver Soul comes in asking for two orange-haired ladies to give them this.
Okay.
Yes.
That's epic.
So that-
Yeah, I love it, Brie. I'll give you inspiration for that. That's
Awesome.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Deserves
GM
it.
inspiration means you get advantage on something. That is.
We're gonna
Yes.
need it, I feel.
Yes. So in my position, I was waiting for like the signal, and as soon as I see somebody kind of like go over the mast or like fall out of the mast or whatever, I'm gonna look to the people waiting with me, Wit and Riesling, and what was the other crewmate that was with us?
Wit, Squat, and Fig are all waiting.
Squat and Fig. Yes, Wit, Squat, and Fig, and then Riesling. I'm just gonna like give them a nod and be like, "That looks like a signal to me, hey?" And I'll run toward the ship and try and get on it.
Okay. For sure. What is your first goal when you get onto the ship?
My first goal is to throw somebody overboard.
Okay. For sure. You immediately see some people that are up against the side of the railing, yelling down at Ovid and Zod, and you can easily go up to them and try to push one over. Go ahead and give me a strength check.
Okay, strength check is just Oh wait, I don't have proficiency in it anyway. So 14.
Okay. Wonderful. Okay.
And I'm just gonna look at them, look at the person that I'm trying to throw over, and be like, "Did you think today was gonna be as exciting as it is when you woke up this morning?"
He like turns around, and you see his eyes get really big as he starts to lose his grasp, and he falls off over the edge.
Hope you can swim.
The one next to you immediately takes a swing at you. What is your AC?
14.
He does not hit you. It swings right by you, gets lodged into the railing. Off from the side, you hear, "We're under attack! Man the ballista!" And as you turn to it and orientate yourself to that voice, you see a woman standing near the forecastle, yelling out to different crew members as people start to come up from below deck and run around and try to, and a few of them are running towards the ballista. Solarum, you are next.
Mm-hmm.
Do I still have a bonus action because I was moving an action? Yeah. Can I disengage from the guy that I'm next to?
Absolutely. Sorry, I went ahead and yeah, that's fine.
No, that's okay. We don't have a map right now. I just want to be clear that like I'm disengaging from anybody I'm in melee with.
Yeah, I'll let you disengage.
Cool.
All right. I'll go ahead and for my interaction, I'll shout out, "Mako, Waco, guard the ballista." And then Toxa and I will jump out and try to throw 2 more people overboard.
You guys broke into the captain quarters, correct?
So the way that I wanted it to happen was we were going to come in through the windows of the captain's quarters, and then as we like kicked the door outwards,
okay,
we were gonna send off the signal. So we'd already been into the captain's quarters and found it empty, I believe is what you said.
Yeah, absolutely. So you kick the door out of the captain's quarters, and you see Mako and Waco run around and get stopped at the stairs up to the forecastle, to where the ballista are by various relatively large, big sailors that are blocking either side. Right next to you is a fairly well-dressed, a little bit richer than the rest of the sailors, individual, that lady, and she's probably the closest individual to where you are, having broken out of that door.
Okay. So having kicked it out, I'm going to go ahead and flurry of blows and try and knock her out.
Okay, sounds good.
So that is going to be bonus action, flurry of blows, and so that's going to be, I believe, 3 hits.
Don't you have to make an attack first?
Yes. So, sorry, after you take your attack action. Okay. So yeah, I'll go ahead and unarmed strike 1 hit. So that's going to be 22.
22 hits.
All right. So that's going to be 1d4 plus 4 bludgeoning. So that's going to be 6 bludgeoning damage to the head, and then flurry of blows as a sorry, I guess sorry, so I think it is attack is the action, unarmed strike is a bonus action, and then I can use a key to do flurry of blows. Is that correct or no?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, so then I'll do my second attack there. That is okay. That's 16 to hit.
16 hits.
16 hits. All right, and then that's going to be 1d4 plus 4, so that's 8 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And then I'll go ahead and use my use a key point there to do flurry of blows, and that is going to allow for me to do 1 more offhand attack.
So flurry of blows is your bonus action.
Flurry of blows would be my bonus action. Okay.
Yep.
So we'll go ahead and use that second attack as the flurry of blows then.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, cool.
Do you normally get 2 attacks?
I thought I got 3 when I was reading the features and traits there, because for actions, I have my attack is an action, and then I have a bonus action unarmed strike, and then specifically flurry of blows
You can spend a
is
key to do another.
So
I think
flurry
it is
of blows
3.
is 2 unarmed strikes.
2 unarmed strikes. Okay, so if I had done flurry of blows, then it would be first action was attack, and then
You get
flurry of blows would be
2.
2 more attacks.
Yeah.
Pop.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So then I do get an additional attack, correct?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Cool. So I'll go ahead and go in with my third attack. I rolled an 11, so that was plus 6, so it's 17 to hit,
Okay. Yeah.
and
that hits.
that does a third D8. Sorry, a third D4 plus 4, which is 8 total for that one.
Okay, sounds good. Immediately flapping down next to you, you see Wit come and start to assist you in your fight.
Nice.
Solarum. You see Squat run over to the mast, cut a line, and shoot up into the air using as a barrel flies down to the ground as he goes up into the rigging. Kaori, you are next.
All right, how many people do we have left?
There's quite a few people. There's at least 5 that are coming out from under the decks, and then there's 2 that are blocking either of the stairs to the forecastle that Mako and Waco are currently engaged with, and then there is 6 up on the forecastle trying to maneuver the ballista.
And I'm still a cat.
And you're a cat, yes. You hear a message that seems to come into your ear. It tells you that the mast can be dropped onto the 2 ballista, but you have to get up into the rigging and assist Fig in doing so.
Okay, I want to do that. Sounds good.
So how do you get up into the rigging? Again, this is the aft mast that you need to get up into.
And what does that look like?
Well, there is the mast itself that can be climbed and is set up to climb, and then there is the shrouds, the kind of netting that goes up to either side of them. So you can either go to a shroud and try to climb up the shroud to get up, or you can go to the mast itself and climb up the mast.
I want to go on the sides.
Okay,
The
absolutely.
netting is.
And as a cat, you easily dart in and out and up to the top of the mast. Go ahead and give me a dex check to start cutting those lines.
9.
Okay. It's going to take more time for you to do that.
Okay.
Riesling, it's you.
Okay,
Sorry. Is there anything
There you
else
go.
you would like to do, Harley?
Nope.
Okay. Riesling, it's you.
All right. Are there any? I'm gonna want to cast sleep. Are there any clumps of people so I can most bang for my buck? Sort of. Are there any like clumps of like 2 people off to a side where if they fall asleep, no one's nearby enough to like slap them awake?
Yeah, there is a whole. There's a clump of people that are leaving, coming out onto the deck from the front of the ship that you could hit with sleep, or there is a group of 6 people in the very back of the deck trying to deal with the ballista, whichever one you'd prefer.
I want to go for the people near the ballista
Okay, absolutely.
because I feel like that's more important. And I'm going to cast this at a 2nd level actually, so that's going to be
Yeah, give me the
5d.
HP.
So let's roll chunky roll. All right, that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 15, 16, 17, 18 plus 7 is
Nice.
18 plus 7 is 25 plus 1 is 26. So 26 total HP worth of people
Okay.
put to sleep.
4 of the 6 fall asleep.
Nice.
Nice. That's awesome.
Okay.
Just so everybody knows, I have Pirates of the Caribbean music playing in my head
Yes.
for all
Oh
of
yeah,
this.
absolutely.
That's how it has to be.
I am swashing my buck so hard in my mind theater.
I'm just gonna be like nighty night boys, as I like wiggle my fingers and put them to sleep.
Yeah. Get him.
It's over to Bella now. Assuming that's
Okay.
that your whole turn, Lauren.
Mhm.
Okay.
Correct.
Bella, it's you.
All right, none of them are moving towards me or anything?
Not really particularly. For the most part, it's almost chaos on top of the ship as right and left people are getting tossed off the ship, getting falling asleep, and all sorts of different things happening to different people.
I'm gonna make a perception check if I can for the captain, or like anybody that looks like they're gonna be a threat. That way I can like engage them and distract them while the rest of the crew takes care of the crew.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll let you do that as your bonus action.
So my perception's not great, but I'm still gonna roll. Like roll a 2,
Oh, no.
and my perception's minus
no.
1. So I got a 1.
Put that dice away.
Hey, it's a dirty one though, so
It's a dirty 1.
That's a dirty, dirty one.
You
why
really
you don't
feel
do
like the
drugs,
one that
kids.
you just disengaged from is probably the biggest threat.
Okay.
The one that you just like kind of like, he took a swing at you. You feel like he's probably a total BA.
Okay, well, we're gonna go for him.
Alrighty.
I'm gonna get back in melee, so my move action to get back in melee,
For sure.
and I'm going to attack him.
Okay.
And is there anybody else within 5 feet of him, or is it just me?
It's just you.
Sweet. Now you roll lovely. So that is a 24 to attack.
Okay, that hits.
Cool. And with my swashbuckler, I believe since I'm the only one within 5 feet of him, I get sneak attack. Okay, so that is 4, 5, 11 plus 3, 14 points of damage with my rapier.
Okay, would you like to describe it?
Yeah, so I just like sort of walk up to him and do like a little like oh, which side am I gonna be on? Like being like a total ham about it. And then I go in and like give a slash probably like across his collarbone, like not super deep because I'm trying not. We said to try and not do super lethal stuff. So like mostly debilitating until he gets it checked out. So like not being able to like move his arm. So just like from one shoulder across the collarbone up to the other one.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's mean.
You hold on a second.
Just go straight through the pectoral. He's not lifting his arms at all.
Yeah. And like I don't do super deep across the chest, but like in the socket, that's where I kind of like drive it in a little bit, like in the shoulder socket, and then I yank it out.
As you do this, he falls and crumples to the ground, and then you hear a loud whack, and you turn around and you see another person's fallen from the rigging up ahead, and as you look up, you see Squat, the were-rat, jumping from across the rigging. With just an absolutely glorious dexterity check.
Yeah, his name is Squat.
I believe it is Squat, yes.
Squat. So I just go,
Squat the way around.
all right, good job, Squat. And I like raise my rapier up at it.
And I'm gonna turn to the crew and be like, I told y'all you had rats.
Yes!
Yes! I'll give you inspiration for that as well. Yeah, so people are falling right and left. Let's head back towards Solarum. Solarum, what you see as Wit flies down, he whacks with a club the female individual that's in front of you, and she gets tossed into the wall of the forecastle, and she's a little dazed. You have advantage on your next attack.
Yes. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and take that. Come on, nat 20. Highest is 17. I'm fine with that.
Mhm.
Plus 6 is gonna be 23.
23.
Yep. So that'll be uh, 6 bludgeoning damage for the first attack,
Okay.
and then I'll use my flurry of blows. I'll use another key point for flurry of blows again and get 2 more attacks. First attack is a 8 to hit. I don't think that hits.
8 does not hit.
Okay, and the second attack is a natural 20.
Okay. Wonderful.
All right. So double the dice, right?
Double the dice.
All right, and that's a 4 on the d4, so that is 8 plus 4, which is 12 bludgeoning damage
Okay.
Right in the dome.
for the third hit.
Okay.
Or third attack. And that's my turn.
And she is definitely looking like she's taken a beating. You can start to see like wounds from your various attacks start to bruises start to well up as she's taken these various hits from you and Wit.
Okay. Can I do, because I don't have any additional actions, but I do have an interaction. Can I like yell at her?
Yeah.
Okay.
Your
So
free
I just
interaction?
yeah. So after I like punch her in the shoulder, and you can like I imagine you can like hear the shoulder kind of like dislocate for a second.
Yeah.
And I just turn to her and I like roar in her face. I'm just like, yield.
Go ahead and give me an intimidation, and then
All right.
and let me know. Kaori, we're gonna hop back to you.
So that is going to be that's only an 8 for intimidation.
Okay. Sounds good. Kaori, it's you.
Yeah, I'm still climbing.
Well,
Right?
you're up on this rigging, and you can either cut it to drop it down onto the ballista, or do something else if you'd like to.
How many people are we fighting still?
There is currently 2 sailors that are just kind of on the deck near where Bella is. There are 2 that are asleep next to there's 2 that are not asleep next to the ballista. There are 4 that are asleep next to the ballista. There are 2 that are engaged with Mako and Waco, and then there is kind of the leader one that Wit and Solarum are engaged with.
Okay, and I can drop this thing on the ballista,
Yeah.
which will, well, I guess we'll see what happens. All right, let's do it. All right. Okay, what do I need to do?
Yeah, give me a dex check to cut the rest of this rigging, because you got a 9 last time, I believe.
15.
You easily cut
Nice.
it. Would you like to write it down, or would you like to stay up here in the room?
Hell yeah! Oh yeah!
Go
I
ahead
want
and
to
give
just
me.
like
So cool.
as majestic as I can as a cat.
Yeah.
What do
Go
you
ahead
need
and
to
give me
roll?
a dex check or an acrobatics check to ride this down.
I'm imagining the captain from like
8.
Treasure Planet swinging down and doing the like flip.
Yeah, the cat flip.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because she's a cat and cats always land on their feet. Could she get advantage on that?
I'm not going to be giving her advantage, but what will be happening is this large beam falls onto the ballista, breaking them. While the damage doesn't seem significant, they do seem like they've been taken out of this battle. Kaori, you reach to grab one of the lines and ride the line down, and your paws just don't grip like your fox's claws would, or
Forget you don't have
yeah,
thumbs.
it's just not quite the same. And you miss it entirely. You fall down to the deck below. You take 6 points of damage, but you happen to land on one of the 2 individuals manning the
Nice.
ballista.
If you're gonna fail, fail up.
Falling cat.
Yeah, I would say
Danger.
as a cat owner, I can 100% picture the missing of the line,
Yeah,
like the swiping for it and just completely missing.
absolutely. Riesling, it's you.
Oh gosh. Okay, so there's one over by Kaori near the ballista, and are there two still on Bella?
There are two that are somewhat near Bella. They're not on engaged with her.
Yeah,
but-
I'm not engaged with them yet.
But there are two that are near her. There is one that Kaori is on top of. There is one that is awake near the ballista. And then there's a bunch in the back.
Alrighty. So for the two that are near Bella, because I gotta go help my bestie. For sleep, it's 20 feet within a point I choose. Am I able to orient that so it gets the two over there, but not get Bella?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I
So
think
I'm
it's
gonna
individuals you choose, right?
Yeah, I think it's a within a certain.
I think
Yeah,
you
it's
can
creatures
choose.
within 20 feet of a point I choose. So I just want to be able to make sure I can choose a point that would encapsulate them, but not Bella.
Yeah, I'm sure that you can do that. Yes.
Okay, cool. So more time to do math live on screen.
Yay.
Woohoo! D&D
8,
is
9, 10,
great for that,
11.
isn't it?
19, 20, 25.
Okay. 25. They both fall asleep.
Yes.
Let
And
me
I'm
just
like,
mark
nighty
those.
night again.
Okay.
And I was like, and this is why you don't do drugs on a ship. Falling asleep on the job.
Do you
Just
have a
imagining
bonus
her-
action that you'd like to do?
I am going to run towards the ballista and where Harley is, just so that I'm in that area for when the next round
Okay.
sort of gets going.
Sounds good. Bella, it's you. The two that were
Okay.
closest to you have fallen asleep. The next closest ones would probably be those that are manning the ballista.
Okay. The ballista looks like it's taken care of. Just in case if these guys wake up, I'm going to like rush over to them and try and tie them
Like hog
up
tie them.
as quickly as I can. Yeah.
Just
Probably not hog tie. I'll probably do sailor's knots, TBQH, because I have sailing proficiency.
nice.
I think you can tie them up, but I do think that it would probably take a full action per
Yes,
individual.
Yes. So one action
Per sleeping individual.
per sleeping individual. Okay.
I assume in 6 seconds that's pretty fast for hog tying someone.
Yeah. No, that's
Any
really fair.
rigger
That's
would
really
know.
fair. Yes, that's really fair. I am going to tie one of them up, and then with my bonus action, let's see, it's hide, dash, and disengage. I think I'm actually just going to stay here, and just take another glance around to like get my bearings again, and just like stick here so I can tie the other guy up at the beginning of my next turn.
Absolutely. Sounds great. As soon as you finish tying that one up, you hear a "oh!" as one of the big, large individuals is thrown overboard by Toxa and Mako. The other one is the other large sailor is still engaged. It is Solaram's turn.
All right. I'm gonna take out my. First of all, does she seem intimidated? Does she stop?
She doesn't seem intimidated
Okay.
whatsoever.
All right, then I'll go ahead and take out my rage. And first hit is a 12 to hit.
12 does not hit.
Okay. And I'll use my last key point to flurry of blows. Give me 1 second here, because I have completely neglected one of my techniques, because I'll go ahead and roll to see if either of these two hit. So the first one is a 13 to hit. Does that hit?
13 does not hit, no.
13 does not hit. Okay, and the second one is another natural 20.
Natural 20 definitely hits.
Okay.
better.
So D4, so that's 6 plus 4, so that's a 10 to hit, or 10 damage.
Okay.
And then I am going to use my open hand technique. This is the first time using it.
Ooh.
I'll be imposing. Let's see here. Dex saving throw. So I'll need her to make a dex saving throw.
Okay. She probably fails that.
Okay. DC 10.
Yeah, she definitely fails that.
Okay. She is pushed 15 feet off of the edge of the ship.
Well, crud. Yeah. Okay. So she would have swung and hit you twice in her next turn, and done 23 damage. So you just avoided that.
There's a matrix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was her first time. She was gonna hit for once, but no.
Yeah. So you see me just like swing and then I miss, and then I swing up and then I miss, and then you just see me like, and I just open hand, and you see her like fly back on her shins, hit the railing, and then just like double over backwards and sploosh.
So there is now, as it's back to their turn, there's now only 3 individuals of the whole crew that are still up and standing after this. And you can kind of see that they start to realize hope is basically lost. And you see the big one fighting Waco, and he kind of gets onto his knees. And the one underneath you, Kaori, just submits to your claws. You guys have control of the ship. Tell me what you do.
I'm going to lean down to the one that just submitted to Kaori and be like, she has that effect on a lot of us.
Wow.
And I'm like, I'm assuming you're Kaori. You're usually a fox. I hope I'm not just talking to a cat.
The cat starts nodding.
I'm just gonna give you a look. Also, you see my red eye, so
I feel like I should roll a d20 to see if I notice the red eye.
Do it.
See if
While they're doing that, I was actually going to start like unwrapping the ship from like untying the knots from the harbor, bringing like shouting orders at the crew to bring the anchor up, like hoist the anchor, like
Yeah.
Cast off.
all the ships.
Hoist anchor.
You absolutely start seeing them run around to start cutting the lines that are tethering them to the shore. Those that are already up in the rigging start dropping sail and getting the ship ready to sail out to sea.
That's what I'm busy doing. Is getting the ship actually ready to get the fuck out of here. I mean, get the heck out of here.
I'm going to give Kaori an exaggerated wink because I rolled well enough to notice the red eye. And then I'm going to start tossing asleep bodies off the side, figuring that the hit of the water will wake them up and they hopefully won't drown.
So you will be tossing all sleeping individuals off the ship.
Except the one I bound, hopefully, because he's...
Yeah. Well, they're only going to be asleep for 60 seconds. So I'm going to quickly start, like, chucking.
And the other individuals that surrendered, what will you be doing with them?
that surrendered?
Yeah, there's...
How many total surrendered?
There are a total of 3 that surrendered.
Which is just under what we wanted.
Yeah, give them a choice, mates.
I start rounding them up and like lifting them up by the collars and like shoving them onto their knees on the deck. On like the main, like middle of the deck so that everybody can see.
Yeah, for sure.
Captain, you wanna give them their rights?
Am I finished getting the ship out? Because I assume I'm one of the only people in the PCs that have sailing proficiency. I don't know about the crew.
My guess is some of the crew knows exactly what they're doing. You start cutting the lines, and you can see the 8 of them are starting to go around and get things done.
All right.
As soon as it feels like that we're leaving the harbor, then I'll come over to the guys that Solarum has rounded up. And I'll be like, I'll just like sheath my rapier and we'll confront them and say, All right, crew, welcome to your new job, hopefully. You have a very important choice to make. You can either stay back at Stormbreak Harbor. Unfortunately, we've already left the harbor, so we'll just have to, like, put you out. Hopefully you're good swimmers and you can get back. Or you take up your new job with me, our new captain, Bella Bones.
Can I
What say you, my dears?
can I thaumaturgy to make her hair like flutter?
Oh yes,
Absolutely.
please.
Her hair starts
yes.
billowing in the wind, and
Just like I find a barrel to like I like tell somebody like roll the barrel, and I like put my foot on top of the barrel.
I got you. I'll roll the barrel.
Nice.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I want to cast Primal Savagery so that I'm this cat with really long teeth and claws, kind of like
Oh,
looking
man.
really intimidating. So,
Yes.
kind of like,
Good cat and bad
I
cat.
just say, given all of this like theatrics and dramatism,
absolutely.
I'm just like, so what will it be? Are they all male?
They are all three of these are male. Yes.
Yeah. So what will it be, boys?
Go ahead and give me a persuasion check with advantage.
With
Yep.
advantage? You know, I rolled a 19 and a 20.
As is appropriate for the Captain Bella Bones.
So that is going to be 24
You see all three of
for
them
the
nod
20.
their heads and be like, your orders are our orders, or we'll follow you. And from the rigging up ahead of you, you hear Squat say, "The ship is ours, Captain!"
Huzzah!
Hoist the colors! Do we have colors?
I
Did
don't
we get
I
that
don't think
far?
we have colors.
So I do run over and pull down the signal colors from the mast,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll go ahead and just grab some sort of just black and white cloth, any black and white cloth that I can find. Just kind of.
I was
drape-
going to ask if any of the crew that we apprehended are wearing black shirts.
No, unfortunately, none of them are.
Okay. So I'm just gonna. Okay, I'll just grab whatever like random white or black cloth I can find. Like I'll find a gunny sack or something. Like,
Yeah.
I'll
Dip
pull,
it in some gunpowder.
well, no, I've got some in my inventory here. I've got some painters. I've got a painter's kit.
Oh, cool.
Painter supplies, and I'll go ahead and throw out a quick design. I'm like, Bella, what do you want?
I don't know. What should be? I don't want to just be my symbol. Should it be like a
I've got it.
skull and crossbones? And ooh,
Which should
What?
be a skull, but with parts of all of us. So give it like Leonin ears, fangs for Kaori, give it like red hair for you, and
you.
I don't know.
And you.
Okay, so I just draw this like monstrous looking like visage, and it's got like red hair coming down, and there's I'll go ahead and do like the lion ears, so like the curved lion ears, and then give it like fangs and like a fox nose.
one red eye.
Oh,
One red eye.
One red eye. Yeah, put the red eye on there.
Mhm.
Oh,
Oh, wait, you can give it the starfish for me.
yeah, put the
I like
the star.
imagining we're all, like on the deck of the ship and like
Like we're all
Or
over
just,
his
like,
shoulder,
do this, dude, like over his shoulder.
and then we're
This
pointing
is
like
a-
over here. What about here?
I think it's all
And
of
he's, like,
you
trying to
that,
keep us.
that are like, telling Solarum what to do, while the rest of the crew are like off, like actually sailing the ship away,
Yeah.
and all of your focus is on what this design
Aesthetics
is.
are
and-
very
we have our
important.
priorities.
All right, so I hoist our new colors, and I'll actually draw it out and see if we can get some like art done for it or something.
I
That
have
would be
like
awesome.
I look up at my I go to where the like steering wheel is. What is it called?
The helm, the
Helm.
The helm. Yeah, sorry, Bree doesn't know what F shit are. But I go to the helm and I just like grab the helm and I look up at my hoisted colors and just like one little tear rolls down my cheek.
Nice.
I have to update all the long posters to 8 ships now.
You can pull some of them out and like start crossing out and like fixing the ones that you have stolen.
Nice.
Yeah.
The ship sails away, and you see people start gathering on the shore, and you see Ridge out there, kind of looking disappointed that he's been tricked.
He got ghosted.
Oh, poor
Took hold
Ridge.
out of it. Shut up.
And they do have good mimosas there. He just had to pay
do.
for them himself.
And the ship sails out and around the island. I assume that you're gonna pull up into the vineyards for your quick onloading. As you do so, the 10 crew members that were promised you for assistance on sailing front start to board, and they start to haul on these large boxes that have obvious like clothing covering on the top of the top layer of it, almost to where it seems a little unnaturally placed.
Like a little obvious.
It's like we've lightly draped shirts on top of mounds and mounds of illicit substances.
It's fine. Whatever.
Before we get going, can I have an aside with Kaori?
Absolutely.
I'm gonna not be a cat anymore. Just
Okay, I
Let's just
picture
put
it
that out
like
there.
I'm gonna start to crouch down to like cat eye level, and I'm imagining as I do that, like you're gonna uncat and like pass me on the way up. So now I'm just awkwardly crouching in front of you, like looking up at you. Like, well, now I don't know if I should get up or not.
I'm just gonna look at you expectantly. Like,
And I'm gonna like shamble up, I guess. And I was like, I'm really glad you made it onto the ship. We missed you at the planning session last night, but I told them, I was like, I knew you were on the same wavelength. We've got a wavelength thing going, and I knew you'd be with us. So it's good to see you.
I told you, you and I just kind of like bring my hand up to my eye. I think we're stuck.
Can't get rid of me.
I'm glad you're not running away.
We'll see.
You're not.
I mean,
We are on a ship.
that's true. Do you want to know a secret? Something that you can't tell the captain, though.
I'm
I
gonna
can't
look around,
swim.
see if you can't.
Mm-mm.
I'm also gonna kind of think, can I swim? I've never been on a boat.
I was like, so, how about this? I ever see you start to go over, I gotcha. Same for me?
Deal. Let's just not get too close to the edges then.
Yeah, we'll stick in the middle. I'll kind of like nudge her with my elbow.
Kaori does nothing, does not move, does not return said nudge, but looks at you like
Riesling is
little nod.
beaming. Riesling is happy with how that went.
I am also while everybody's getting ready, and we're kind of pulling out to sea before we get to the vineyards, because I assume it's going to take a little while.
Yeah.
For us to sail down there. I'm going to go up to the front portion of the ship. I think it's not the aft, it's the prow. I'm going to go up to the prow of the ship. I'm going to find the title board for the Silver Soul.
Yeah.
And I'm going to repaint it so that it's not the Silver Soul anymore. It's not easily identifiable when we pull up to the vineyards.
Okay.
And
You
it'll
can kind of
be-
see that it's actually metal like inlay that's been put into the wood, hammered into the wood. You can probably get a knife or a tool and slowly start popping them off.
right.
It is in more than one place. It's off the edge of the poop deck behind the ship, and then on the side of the ship as well.
Who puts their
Alright.
name under a poop deck? That guy's
It's
sick.
off the side of the poop deck, you goofball. Okay.
I'm just saying, that guy had issues.
Yep. So I'll go ahead and take care of the one up front. Obviously, I can take care of the one in back as we're loading.
Yeah.
But we're going to change it from the Silver Soul to the Splintered Sails
Okay.
as a warning as a warning of what will happen if you cross us.
The splintered sails.
I'm gonna go up to Solarum. I was like, I like it, but you know sails aren't made of wood, right?
I worked with what I had. Okay.
I like it. And you did
All right.
great with the flag.
Thank you. All right. So we've got an additional 10 crew members with
Yeah, and they as you kind of pull up over there, you see this kind of wagon train of these individuals getting ready to load your ship up, and you can kind of tell that like they know what's going on. They're pretty aware of it, and they're trying to move as quickly as possible to start
right.
loading up the ship.
So sure, go ahead.
Yeah, and as you kind of you throw your gangplank down, I believe that's the term. Tucker will board and speak with you.
All right. So I shake his hand. I'm like, sorry for the misunderstanding there. We've got your goods on here, and we're headed for Port Ianzaru. So
Yes. I guess this goes without saying since you've already started to take care of it, but I assume the ship will be unrecognizable when you return.
By the time that we get back, you won't even know it's the same ship.
Wonderful. Well, here's the gold that was promised.
All right. Then I get 850.
850, and then
Okay.
the remaining amount will be when you return with the rest of the goods.
I hand him 10 back, and I say, for the misunderstanding, and like pat his hand. And then I'm gonna hand 4 gold each to each of the crew members as I walk by. To like kind of give them like a wink and understanding and a nod, just so that they're also loyal to me and Bella versus anybody else that might try and convince them otherwise on the way over.
The new crew members.
The 10 new crew members, I give
Okay.
them 4 gold each as like a bonus, like thanks for signing on.
For sure. Okay.
So we still have 800 gold. And very loyal crewmates from Tucker. And Tucker is a little less put out having to travel a few miles south to load the cargo.
So I believe that brings your total crew up to 21 besides you.
Yeah, that gives us enough to do shifts, first, second, and third shifts.
All right, 21 crewmates.
So we don't have to run anyone ragged. That's awesome.
All according to plan.
All according to the wavelength.
So,
Oh, we should have called the ship the Wavelength.
Oh my God, Talar!
No. He said it's going to be a new ship when we come back. Next name change.
I'll get new points for the name change. All right.
All right, next name change.
No rush though.
It'll be like once a month we change the name of our ship.
As pirates are wont to do.
Ian, do I notice anything like being out on the ocean, kind of with my eyeball? Is there any?
Are you looking out towards the ocean?
I am. Yeah. Kaori's probably not super gung ho about crewing, but if you ask her, she will help out. But she's probably sitting on a box by herself, looking out at the ocean.
Kaori, you're sitting on this box looking out towards the ocean. In the ocean, you can see that it's just a wealth of life forms. As it gets more distance from you, they kind of blur in and out with each other to where they're a little less distinct behind the water, but there is just an abundance of different life forms. And then as you look way out to sea, you definitely see some very large creatures. You don't know what they are, just these large, almost land masses of life that are passing by.
Okay.
Solarum,
Mm-hmm.
as you're handing out gold, Squat takes gold from you and stashes it away in 4 different pockets.
All right.
All right. I seeing Kaori sitting sort of by herself. Like once the ship is sort of like sailing at a good speed, and we're kind of not in a high tense hurry. I'm gonna go and sit down next to her, and I'm gonna first I'm gonna ask and be like, the seat taken. Point to the spot next to her.
I believe it's your ship, Captain.
I believe it's our ship, but sure enough.
I need my name on the flag.
So I got that ship. Now we just got to get you to the island. Told you we could do it.
Have you ever seen what's, in the ocean?
Not all of it, of course, but a good number. I've seen the water. I've been on the water before. I've been in the water before.
All these
Had my own scraps with the various sea creatures.
Really? They're
What type of sea
huge.
turtles?
Some of these
What's
things are
huge?
huge.
She's seeing that with her eye, right? Like I don't see those.
Yeah,
Yeah. I'm
you
like,
wouldn't see
what?
them.
What do you mean they're huge? What are you seeing right now?
Life. I didn't realize. I mean, I guess I knew.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not really good at noticing things, but I don't really see anything around. Is it your, and she pointed like the eye that would like be, is it, are you talking about you're seeing creatures with your other eye, your new eye?
And she's going to kind of cover it, even though that doesn't block any view. I don't know what this does, but I can see life.
Well, as long as it doesn't get near the ship, I suppose it's fine. Maybe we should have you up in the crow's nest just in case. Not right now, but maybe.
I'd be okay with that. I'm not much of a crew member, unfortunately.
Don't say that. You're a wonderful crew member. Just because you're used to being on land doesn't mean you're useless on the sea. If that were true, nobody would have ever set sail.
Under her breath, she's going to kind of mumble just how someone would have loved to have seen the ocean.
Anyway, before I get back to things, I just wanted to give you something because it's your first time out on sea and you seems kind of nervous, and so here you go. And she's gonna give you like a little flower that looks like this, like a little sunflower.
Oh,
She's like, I just she hands it to you. I reminded me of you because I don't know. It's both pretty. You're pretty. This is a little more awkward than I thought it would be.
So cute.
Kaori's immediately going to take it from you and stand up and turn around.
Okay.
And run off.
Goodbye. Good ambush today, everyone.
I think we just had our first.
I'm gonna go back to the
I think we
house.
just had our first disaster lesbian moment. Congratulations, guys.
Absolutely.
I didn't mean for it to be. She's like, I can tell Kayla's nervous about this. I should give her something
I'm not
nice.
gonna
And
lie,
then,
you
like,
started describing the sunflower, and I was like, for Kaori? I was like, nice, pretty, yes, nice.
Kaori's probably never going to get rid of that sunflower. Just letting you know. And she just doesn't know how to deal with emotion.
Like, as it was coming out of Bella's mouth, she's like, oh no, this is so awkward.
She also thinks you do have a crush on her now. So there you go.
Fucked up. It's fine. If anyone's going to be a disaster, it's going to be Bella.
I got you this
Anything
flower.
goes
Fine,
on the
it's
open
not-
ocean.
I got you this flower. Fine, it's not like I like you or anything. Jeez.
Yeah. Oh, Kaori's a tsundere.
Love
Oh.
it. Soon.
Yeah, I probably will avoid you.
That's okay.
Mhm.
That's
Just go
fine.
immediately up to the crow's nest and like huddle.
I did give you that out.
She's gonna live up there now. She's never coming down. Great. Way to go. You scared her off.
Yes.
Other than that, I'm going to make sure the rest of the crew are doing fine, check in with everybody, including Riesling and Solarum.
Riesling, you said that you were going up to the crow's nest?
I don't think I did,
Oh,
but I
sorry.
might have. What I'm probably doing is I'm probably like at a pile of like rope, like one of those rope coils, and I've got like an end in my hand, and I'm trying really hard to pretend like I'm doing something because I don't know how to. I've never been on an airship or a real ship or anything. I was pretty stationary, so I have no idea what to do on a ship, but I desperately don't want anybody to know that I have no idea what I'm doing. So I am trying my darndest to performance, like look like I'm like very intent on a task.
Go ahead and give me a deception check.
Okay, I will gladly do so.
So
Oh.
all of you are kind of acting and playing the part as the ship is loaded. It obviously they load it fairly quickly and send you back out to sea. Where would you guys like to set up shop? How would you like to find your own areas within the ship? What would you like to do? You can see that already some of the crew has taken found a place up in the rigging, squat the were-rat up in some of the different nests up above, and Wit flying up above every once in a while trying to keep a lookout for the rest of you. What would you guys like to do, and where would you find your spots?
Well, Riesling got a 14 on that performance check to look like she really knew what she was doing with those ropes.
I think that you probably most of the crew, maybe Bree or maybe Bella might be the only one to realize you don't know what you're doing. However, some of the other crew notice.
Yeah,
At least it's
I'm
not
like
the main-
masking it. Yeah, I'm masking it by like chatting with them so that they're like paying attention to what I'm saying while my hands are basically doing nothing in front of me. Being like,
I'm gonna
oh,
actually
beautiful day, beautiful
I'm going
day.
to roll an insight against her deception, but can I add my proficiency because of sailing?
Yeah, absolutely.
I love
Okay.
that. Yeah. See if you can tell.
Okay, it's 14 on
Oh,
the
so you
die,
definitely-
-1 because of my wisdom, but +2 being my efficiency. So,
So that
I'm at
so you
15.
beat me by 1.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I
So I'm
won't
just
say
like-
anything right away. As long as she doesn't hurt anything,
Mhm.
okay, I don't want to embarrass her in front of everybody.
Just like tying the same shoddy knot and then untying it, and then like turning a little bit and like going a little further down the rope, tying that same knot because I only know like the typical like cross it over and through knot. But then like untying it and trying to like shake my head like no, and then like tying it again at the beginning and just like on a loop.
Nice.
Sorry, go ahead, Sorum.
No, go ahead. I wasn't going to say anything.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, so if I'm going up to the crow's nest, which is where I would like to be, there's a were-rat up there?
The moment that he sees you, you hear a squeak, and he darts off in a different direction.
Are there 2 masts
There's
on this ship?
one were-rat on the ship. There's also
No, I mean masts, like
yes,
mast for the
there
ship.
are
Like
2 masts.
there's 2?
a total of 3 different nests.
Okay.
Yeah, there's the foremast that has there's a foremast and then the main mast. The main mast, its topmost is the crow nest. However, there are a couple other. I think it's called a top but the top is where the shrouds meet the mast, and there's like a deck there, and then there's like another nest that's that up another level from that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so.
So the were-rat runs away.
Yeah, the moment he sees you, it doesn't look like Squat is particularly keen to be in with the vicious cat in up in the rigging.
I just want to kind of keep in the back of my mind, maybe with my eye, an eye on my on this were-rat. I will not chase it yet.
Okay.
Basically.
Ooh, the feral urge is there, though.
Yes, it is. It really is. I'm like, ooh, I want to chase it. Ooh, I
What
wanna
form
chase
are
it.
you in?
I am just me, but I mean, I still have my, my ears and
You like do
everything.
one of those, but you catch yourself.
Mhm.
Yeah, I just imagined like that tail twitching kind of moment, where
Yeah, the ears are just like,
Eyes dilate.
Yes.
I am channeling this like so much right now.
I love it.
Yeah, I want to be up in the crow's nest. That's where I would like to position myself and make a little spot.
for sure.
A little nest.
So, Bree, where would Bella be?
Mostly at the helm, and like I said, the first day, probably spending most of the day just checking around with people, making sure that everybody feels comfortable in the tasks that they have, setting up shifts.
Mm-hmm.
So seeing who's more of a night owl and who's more of a morning person, making sure everybody is comfortable, because we have enough of a crew where like we can make sure that people get a good 8 hours of sleep and then can also like do their share.
Yeah.
So mostly just doing sort of like the logistics of like who wants to work what and when.
Yeah.
And then eventually I'll retire to the captain's quarters and like snoop around in there and see what there is to find, but maybe like save most of that investigation for next time, because I want to do a very thorough
for sure.
Cleaning of the captain's quarters.
For sure. As you're kind of interacting with different members of the crew, Yates comes up to you and he says, "Captain, I don't know if I told you this before, but I had a ship of my own before it sunk at the docks. I would be happy to help you and be your helmsman if you need assistance at the wheel. Of course,
absolutely.
That's only if you would like me to."
Oh, yes, I would be remiss if I didn't take your help in this.
"Well, I'll get right on that, Captain." And you see him start to walk very slowly towards the helm, to assist you in kind of the sailing duties.
Cool.
So
I love him. If anything happens to Yates, I'm gonna kill everyone in this room and then myself.
So Aram, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna go ahead and assist Bella with the searching of the captain's quarters once she gets around to it, so she can have advantage. In the meantime, I'm not much of a sailor myself, so I'm just kind of keeping an eye on the crew, especially like the 3 that we inducted, essentially, kind of making sure that they're not slacking off or anything like that. You see me walking around with a small book, and every once in a while you'll see me kind of like open it and just kind of scratch in it. I'm gonna be additionally taking down notes of like things on the ship that need repair, getting everybody's names on the crew, kind of establishing rapport. As the first mate, I need to be the go-to for anybody that needs help. So I'm kind of, helping out with, the repairing the rigging, and I make sure that once the once we've identified who on the ship actually has any cooking experience whatsoever, that they get down to the galley like right away to prepare a meal. Stuff like that, just making sure that the crew in general is doing what they need to do to make sure that this runs smoothly. And then I am going to go ahead and grab some cloth and something soft to stuff it with, not necessarily super fancy, but get enough of a batting going, and then I'm just gonna like tack it down to the prow of the ship, and I'm gonna kind of make a little like lion's den up underneath the I forgot what you called them, the two sails that go up to the mast at the front.
Well, do you mean like the netting, which would be the shrouds?
The shrouds, yes. Under
yeah.
the shrouds.
Okay.
Kind of tack it up under the shrouds towards the front of the ship.
So you won't be staying in like the first mate's quarters?
Are there first mate's quarters? Okay, I was not aware of that. I thought there was just the captain's quarters.
I will so there is the captain's quarters and the first mate's quarters. The first mate's quarters is significantly smaller. It's not much more than a room that is the size of the bed that's stuck in it, but there's a bed in it. Which,
it's a cot closet essentially.
Yeah, it's a cot closet.
Yeah.
There's some shelves in there, but that's about it.
Okay,
however,
then I'll take the first mate's quarters then. So go ahead.
Absolutely. There is absolutely in the captain's quarters. There's also a bed. There is a desk and work chair that you can see some various maps on as you guys have searched it before.
Right.
Is there anything in particular that the two of you are looking for as you search?
First.
Yeah, well, since we have a bit more time than I thought, I'll go ahead and investigate. We're gonna go to before I meet Solarm in the captain's quarters, I'm going to go to Riesling. And
I'm like, hey, Captain, all's good over here. How's it going with you?
Hi, Riesling.
And I'm like hiding my hands over on my side while I'm like maintaining serious eye contact.
I'm going around and seeing what everybody feels like they want to do as part of the crew. Finding things where people fit. We seem to be in need of a medic. I don't know if that's something that is in line with your skill set, but I figured I'd just come over and ask.
Oh yeah. I mean, I was just messing with that rope in case, we needed a rope with a bunch of knots in it. Because, like that one scenario on a ship where if the one thing happens, you always need a rope with a bunch of knots in it. So I was just getting that rope ready.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
But if you think it's more important, I can certainly go check out, is there a medics area on the ship?
While there's not an area that's necessarily specifically for the medic, there is some various gauze and supplies that are in the galley in the kitchen, and you can assume that chances are, at this ship at least, if somebody was severely injured, they'd be taken to the kitchen and treated there.
Okay, I can certainly go take stock of what the ship already has and see if there's anything that might be missing that we might need medically wise. Fig can totally take over continuing to knot this rope for that one scenario where we need a knotted rope with a bunch of knots in it. Fig can do that. He and I have been working on this.
Yeah, the wavelengths. Yeah,
Yeah, he totally tries to pick it up. He's been watching. He doesn't have any idea what you were trying to do, but he definitely tries for it.
She leaves to go take stock.
Yeah, I feel like
I'm just gonna be like, Fig, stop, undo those.
Yeah, I feel like Fig and I were kind of same level. It's my having no idea what to do recognizes you're having no idea what to do, and we're gonna fake this together. So I tried to give him the opportunity to just continue to knot the rope continuously. But I will go down to the galley and I'll start writing down and keeping a ledger of taking stock of what we have.
Absolutely.
Like inwardly just being like, oh, thank Brigid. Like I had no idea what I was doing.
Yeah, so then I'll go and meet Salam in the captain's quarters.
Okay. I might go check in. Sorry, Bree. I'm gonna check in
No, it's
with
fine.
Harley and see what Kaori's doing, and then I'm gonna just pass a little bit of time, and then we'll come back to that. Okay.
Sure.
So after being sad and sitting in the crow's nest for a while, I want to jump down.
Absolutely.
Probably a little bit dramatically. Jump down off of the crow's nest. And I want to find Solarum.
Okay.
All right. You see me just kind of walking around the deck, taking notes. Roll a perception check real quick.
Oh, okay, DM.
Well, just to see what you can see about what I'm doing.
7.
7. Okay. Yeah, you notice that I'm taking notes.
There's a
You're not
notebook.
sure. Yep,
You
there's
know for a
notebook.
fact there is one.
Yep.
I'm just gonna go. Have you explored yet?
Haven't had the chance. Mostly taking stock of the crew.
That sounds
about you?
boring. Let's go explore.
Sure.
Yeah.
You see me clap the notebook shut and stow it in my robes, and I follow. Lead the way.
Okay. Let's go to the captain's quarters.
All right.
I want to see what's in there. There's probably something very good in there, right?
There's plenty of good stuff. I was thinking maybe we might want to wait for Bella, though, but...
Oh, I'm sure Bella will be right behind us.
Sure.
But also, I blush at the mention of Bella. So
no!
I'm just like, no, let's
Do
not
we-
wait. But I'm sure she'll be here in a second.
All right. Just so we're on the same page here, we're not going to be doing anything untoward in there.
Again, her
Bella.
face
For
just
Bella.
goes bright red.
All right. Lead the way.
I
Lead the way.
just
I'm
want to
asking
see if
questions.
there's cool things in there.
Sure. And I follow her. Like I notice she like picks up her pace, so I just follow along.
You're gonna give Kaori a heart attack.
Turn her
She's
into
not
a red
gonna
fox.
look at you. So she's just going straight towards the captain's quarters.
All right.
Okay.
So we both head in there. I leave the door cracked slightly.
No, leave it open. I'm gonna open the door.
Okay.
High
I'm
school
not doing
rules.
anything bad. I just wanted to see what was in here.
All right.
Solarum.
You're the one turning colors here. I'm just following along.
I'm gonna quickly search. Do I find anything?
Yeah, so for the most part, the captain quarters look like they've been emptied out. It looks like the clothes that were in here, many of the items that were in here of a personal nature have been removed. You get the feeling that the captain was likely staying somewhere else while on the shore. What you do find is some notes about debt that the Church of the Final Call owes. And you can see some ledgers of a man named Roland that was the captain seeking out bounties in order to pay off these debts that the Church of the Final Call has. You also see ledgers of stocks of wine and various is it leavened bread? The thick crackers that are often used on ships that keep for a very long time. And you see that they did have a small stock of wine and these crackers on the ship to support the crew.
There's wine?
Yeah, there's absolutely there. It looks like there's 5 barrels of wine on the ship currently.
Okay.
Probably at about this point, I walk up to the door and I just go, "Oh, You've already got started. Very good.
I'm gonna jump straight up and just like. Ugh!
Yep, Captain, just taking inventory.
Okay. I didn't think you were doing anything else until you just said that.
We're not doing anything else. I just wanted to see if there's anything cool in your room.
Okay. I mean, me too. You don't have to leave.
I'm gonna scamper out. Just gonna run out.
I'm just gonna get to Laura and be like, what's with her?
I have no idea.
I imagine you show me what I found about the roll-in and the church and yada yada.
Oh, she has all that information. She just booked it.
I didn't take it. I
okay.
didn't take it.
Oh, you didn't take it?
You didn't
Okay.
take. She didn't
no,
take
So
it,
she's
but she
okay. So you
found-
left it out on like the desk.
Yep. I just
Okay,
looked
great.
through
I was like, yeah. She started going through. We have looks like a ledger here, some fine casks of wine.
Ooh,
Yeah,
wine.
if you wanted to break open a barrel in celebration, maybe pass it out to the
Yeah,
crew.
why not?
Yeah,
It's not all wine. I mean, now it's all wine, so we don't have to pay for it.
precisely. But yeah, I think Kiori wanted to kind of get a head start on it.
I like the initiative.
Yeah.
Well, to wrap things up a little bit, you guys break out the barrel of wine and celebrate. The crew is supremely happy to have a sending off, drink as you guys set sail. You drink to your heart's content, except for those that have to be on duty, and you all fall asleep for the night.
My toast when we break it open. Sorry,
Go ahead.
my toast when we break it open. I'm just gonna say, to the splintered sails, the new home of the wavelengths. And then
Hear,
I
hear.
toast.
Riesling toasts her cup of wine, but then pretends to drink it and tosses it over the edge.
Just like from Kronk, from Emperor's New Groove.
Exactly,
Like,
just right over the edge, right over the shoulder.
Beautiful. Well, that's it. Sorry, Ian. Didn't mean to interrupt you.
No problem. The night goes long, and you all fall asleep. Riesling, as you drift off, you dream of this cavern filled with gold. As you walk through it, you see many items of much wonder that you wish to explore, but you continue being drawn up and towards the top of this mound. As you climb these stairs, you get to an altar, and on that altar you see a stone. You reach out and you touch that stone, and you see energy light up the Skyrim city, the home of the Order of Kai, and you hear Bridget call out to you and say, "Welcome home." And then you wake up and you're back in the underbelly of the ship, sitting in.
I have just tears falling out of my eyes silently, and I'm just silently weeping.
As you silently weep, you feel the wind a lot louder than it was before. And the rocking seems of the ship seems a little bit too much. You climb up out of your cot or out of your hammock and go up onto the deck. And out in the distance, you see a storm with silver dragons flying through the air. And that's where we'll end for the night.
Oh, so cool!
Da, da, da.
I was
Bad news,
furiously
guys.
writing everything.
You guys,
We're out
we
to
see
sea.
all the shit.
Yeah, the team name. The wavelengths.
Oh my God,
This
we're
was so
finally
fun.
out to sea on a ship.
The title was
Yeah.
true. Out to sea finally.
Yep, there we go.
We did it.
I'm so proud of you guys.
Well,
Of us.
thank all of you players have been really great tonight. Just to wrap up some other notes. Every Sunday we're switching. Okay, so it looks like we lost announcements, so I'm going to start all over again. Every other week we will have a Kal'add game alternating with Yop, yet another adventuring party from here on out. If you'd like to join the ship's crew, you can go ahead and join the ship's crew on our Discord. Our players should be there to interact with you with the different you out there that want to be a part of the ship's crew. They're on that. If you'd like to be part of it, just make a character and join the ship's crew. Thank you for tuning in. I am so appreciative. We had a great game tonight. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.